Councilmember Casaret.
Here.
DePena.
Here.
Graziano.
Here.
Portabasco. Here. Mojo.
Here.
Velez.
Here.
And Mayor Melham.
Here. Pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jeff.
Sorry.
Sunshine Law.
Pursuant to the requirements of the Open Publics Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, known as the Sunshine Law, notice of this meeting was published on Thursday, December 26, 2024, editions of the Belleville Times and the Star Ledger. The Sunshine Law was complied with by adopting and forwarding to the press, posted and filed with the municipal clerk the annual resolution showing the date, time, and place of each regular meeting. A copy of the meeting agenda has been posted on the website and also on the bulletin board.
Thank you, sir. Before we move on to the public hearing on the amendment to the 2025 budget, I just want to ask the council if we could just flip forward and do a quick proclamation presentation. That would be Resolution 224-225, proclamation honoring Jose Suriano Music Academy for the 25th anniversary. He's here with his family. I'd like to just go ahead and present it so he doesn't have to sit through our entire meeting. If that's good with everybody, I'm going to call him forward. Thank you. Jose, why don't you come forward, buddy? You have to sit. So it's a great way, while the township continues to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, I figured why not issue this proclamation during this meeting. For those of you who don't know, Jose, he's been here for 30 years as a resident, and he's been a business owner for the past 25 years. He's been my neighbor for about 20, and before anybody looks up my residency for the last 20 years, that means I owned property next to Jose for the past 20 years. But he's been a dear friend. I've come to know him and his wife for a long time, and he not only is a retired music teacher from Nutley, Newark School, but he does have a business in Belleville celebrating his 25th anniversary. So we have a proclamation on behalf of the mayor and council that I'd like to read. Forgive me, it's a little long. You have a good bio. It says, whereas Jose Luis Suriano, better known as El Maestro, is the owner and founder of Suriano Academy in Belleville, where he has been an educational inspiration by sharing his musical experience with students for a quarter of a century. Jose was born and raised in Newark, New Jersey, where he first discovered his profound obsession with musical instruments at the age of 8 years old, when his uncle placed a guitar in his hands. Whereas Jose, who is a master of more than a dozen instruments, attended Jersey City State College as a French horn major and began teaching in the Newark public school system immediately after graduation. Throughout the years, he taught elementary, middle, and high school level music classes and acted as an orchestra and marching band director. Jose, later in his life, returned to school to obtain his M.M. Master's in Music degree in Jazz Performance from New Jersey City University. Whereas Jose, who is a current resident of Belleville for 31 years, has been married to his wife Anna for 46 years and raised two beautiful daughters, Joannie and Janice, who share their father's passion for music. Joannie, who played classical piano for 12 years, taught piano for 2 years at the Suriano Academy, opened in 2000, and now runs the front desk as the office manager. Whereas Jose, although overwhelmed by influencing the minds of the future through music, Jose still found time to perform with his band, Latin Fashion, accumulatively entertaining thousands of people for 46 years with his performances, and created 8 music method books. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Mayor and Municipal Council of the Township of Belleville do hereby proclaim Suriano Academy and joining in them in their 25th year anniversary in the Township of Belleville. Congratulations, Jose.
It's a pleasure to meet the heart of Belleville after so many years. I'm a music educator. I would love to give more to Belleville in the music if I can with my network. And it's always been a love to be in Belleville. I love it. It's my hometown. And I really want to give more. So if you ever need my assistance and anything else, I'm here for Belleville. So thank you.
I will say that Jose had the honor of throwing out our first pitch this past Thursday during our Puerto Rico versus Belleville Police Department softball game. Perfect strike, overhand. Great job, buddy. Great job.
Thank you. Pleasure, everyone.
Okay, thank you, council. So now we're going to go back to number 5, is the public hearing amendment on CY 2025 budget. Is this one of the things that we read the script and all that, or how's that work?
We're past all that.
We're past all that.
Yeah.
It's just.
So now we're opening
A
public
motion to
comment?
open, right, just on the amendment portion.
Right. So now I'm going to entertain a motion to open a public hearing on just the amendment portion of the 2025 municipal budget. Do I have a motion?
Second.
I have a motion and I have a second to open public hearing just on the amendment section. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Guadalbasco?
Yes.
Moldro?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham.
Yes, we are now open for public commenting on just the changes, only the changes to the 2025 municipal budget. Mr. Frank Antoni and Mr. Di Maria, I'm going to have you come forward and use this microphone, please. Usable microphones here. We have a $90 million budget that we're going to pass, and we're still sharing microphones.
Okay, it's time for the public hearing. What can we speak? We don't know what the amendment is.
You have a copy there, sir.
Huh? Well, can we,
Sure, so I'm assuming your first question is what is the amendment, correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, I can do that.
Mayor, the amendment consists of several items that have been advertised and made available in the office of the clerk.
This was also discussed at last meeting.
And was discussed and it was approved at the last meeting, so it was advertised. So there's a lot of items here. Do you have any specific questions on the amendment?
Can you just, how about just for the benefit of the council and the viewing public, just a high-level, 1-minute overview of, it's about a $7 change?
It's about a $7 uptick. They were based on technical changes that were required by the division. Interfunds, pilot agreements, receipts from delinquent taxes, developer contributions, foreclosure premiums, things like that. Just some items that were needed to be increased on the appropriation side, and we offset as much as we could on the revenue.
I hear it working, that's good.
yeah, we're supposed to be a high-tech council, but it shows the Board of Ed is so easy. You go on their agenda, you see an item, you click to the right, I think it is, and you get the full explanation. You can read it before the meeting. You don't
Isn't
have
it better to have the
to.
CFO just explain it to you?
Huh?
Isn't it better just have the CFO
No,
explain
because
it to
if
you?
we could read it ahead of time,
Gotcha.
maybe we wouldn't even want to talk
You
about it.
have unlimited time to
We'd be
speak right now.
we'd be informed before we got here.
Okay.
And if it's something that makes sense, we don't want to talk about it, we wouldn't be wasting your time. So all this technology, everything fails. And the other thing, people at home, after the last meeting, everybody, even my wife, trying to watch the meeting. It never works. Somebody's talking, it goes off in the middle of the meeting. So what good is all what you said, Mr. Mayor, you're high-tech, you're an expert at all this stuff and all that. And Mr. Graziano, you too, you're high-tech, and the former Mr. Rizzoli, Rovell that sat there, another high-tech guy. And we can't get any of this technology right. It's going to be 8 years.
So just to be
What are
clear,
we
finally,
doing?
just to be clear, what you're asking for to read in advance, right? That's what your first question was, to read in advance?
Yeah, like-
Apples and oranges. That's an application. This is a network. Two things. So that's something. So if you want to address that, feel free to get an application that we tried to push forward to get so you can read it online.
But
This
we-
other stuff is being upgraded as we speak.
Thank you, Tommy.
Why, if the Board of
Mr. Frantantoni, you should speak about that during public commenting. Right now, it's questions only about the $7 change to our budget, that's it.
$7 up or down?
Up,
I mean, if this was advertised and made available in the office of the clerk.
up would include it in, yeah, it's an increase.
So the tax is gonna be what now?
89 and 7, $96.
Okay.
Thank you. Anybody else for public commenting on the amendment to the budget? Hearing none, seeing none. Anybody on the phones for that? Next, we do, Frank, we do what now?
Close the hearing.
Close it.
Move to final adoption.
So we're going to adopt it now, not later during resolution.
So let's close.
So I'm going to entertain a motion to close and move for final adoption.
Motion.
Second.
A motion to move and move for final adoption. Clerk, call the roll.
No, let's do the adoption after, because it's a specific resolution for it.
Okay, so this is just
This
a
is
motion
just
to
to
close.
close.
Just a motion to close.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Guardabasco?
Yes.
Muldrow?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham.
Yes, now I need a,
So now we're going to adopt the 2025 calendar year budget as amended. And this is Resolution 067A-225, authorizing the approval of the amended calendar year 2025 municipal budget. Motion.
I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
I have a second. Clerk, call the roll. Motion made and second. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Guardabasco?
Yes.
Muldrow?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham.
Yes.
The 2025 calendar year budget is adopted.
Congratulations, Mr. CFO. We almost got October, but we're good.
Got all in there though.
Moving on, this is our work session meeting, so therefore various members of the council can put items on for a brief discussion. We have a lot of them on, so we're going to hopefully be brief. While this is a conversation in among the council and our administration and or invited guests, it is a conversation between us. If you see something that piques your interest or you want to comment on, you most certainly can do so later on during your public commenting portion of the meeting. So first on the agenda is Mayor Melham. Speaking of many years that we've been waiting for things, myself and Councilman Graziano have been waiting 6 years to record the phone lines. I think there's an update. Not sure it's a good update, but I think there's an update.
There is an update, and there's a cost associated with the update, and we signed the PO for it, so I believe the work is going to begin soon, if you want to correct me.
If I may.
I want to say it right from the guy.
If I may, so two meetings ago, brought it in front of the council, what we had to do. It was approved, it was ordered, PO was cut, hardware, actually they wanted to start the install last week, but they need electric, so we are there, hitting the ground running. Now, what we need to do is sit and write policy, procedures, and other things to go with it, because it does require, my personal opinion, and technical opinion, you do need some legal advice on how we go forward.
So this has been on the agenda, I've put it on the agenda at least 5-6 times in the past 6 years or so. It was mostly because I get a lot of complaints emailed to me. It was really to try and quell some of the complaints that I get from basically front-facing offices, people that interact mostly with the community, DPW, rec, health. 4 or 5 offices that interface with, it was not necessarily a huge venture, and I know our former manager had gotten a quote from Verizon at that time. We no longer use Verizon, we were waiting for the fiber and waiting for all the lines to switch over and all that. I know we discussed it 2 meetings ago. Again, it was my impression to record lines for 4 or 5 front-facing offices. This is now ballooned into a $100,000 project, recording all lines. And I'm not even sure, I know we said legal, but I think we should get the legal questions answered. I'm not quite sure every line in the police department, I'm not sure when a detective is talking to somebody about domestic violence, that should be recorded.
Does not include it.
So let me, I can answer all your questions probably, Mayor. So you take the PD, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chief, they are part and parcel of this. They have their own separate, they use a nice recorder, they have a different recording system. Because here in Town Hall, it comes in, it used to come in, it does, because it's antiquated, analog trunks. If your trunk lines that come in. All our new locations are IP based, so it goes over a different protocol. That's why we need to have different equipment out there. So you cannot, if you just want to record the trunks that the former manager gave you a price for, you would only be able to record here. And only here.
Well, I know we were waiting for that
So we wait
fiber
for,
to go.
yeah,
I
so
was well aware of that.
we are now in a good place because it's license based, it's hardware based. All the numbers, any number now, any number can be recorded if approved.
No, I love that, but if we're only going to try and do DPW in a couple offices, do we really think $100,000 is the right number? It doesn't sound like an astronomical number to record. We're trying to record 10 phone lines.
Do you want to be in a predicament to get possibly sued from others to say, why are you picking on DPW, why are you picking on the rec? Why are you picking here when we are in place now that at any given time you can turn it on and turn it off and only the ones approved can have it recorded and done. So
That's my point. You can't record law department, you can't record most of the police departments.
the police are not involved. So
when I was here last week for a meeting, they were inside the police department hooking things up. Was I hallucinating? That was
They were doing, if I'm not mistaken, because I did speak to Tony, he told me flat out he was looking at it. He doesn't, and they know, ACT knows because that's who's the vendor.
And they were also very clear in saying that they can't pick and choose who they record.
Yes,
So
they
is that-
can. They
okay,
can
so-
pick and choose
all right,
numbers.
if that's an update, that's fine, because
It always was that way. Pick and choose numbers, and the same thing stands for Chief Edikini in police. It stands for the fire department. They too have certain things that cannot be recorded.
So why are we paying for technology to record people that we're going to just
You
turn
have
off anyway?
hardware that goes in at those locations, so if he wanted to, hypothetically, to record the admins, he has the opportunity to do that. You just can't at those locations because it's a different connectivity. You have to have hardware. It's the hardware cost at those locations.
I get
And
it.
then license driven.
I just thought we were just trying to avoid misinformation, being told that employees were rude to them. We were just trying to get some of the front-facing things. I'm thinking, a couple offices, construction code, DPW. I just didn't expect a $100,000 number.
And again, you to understand that all the calls originate in this building. The Avaya system is here. Then they get sent to the locations over IP. So the origination point is here. You need the hardware here, and you need them at each one of those locations. So right off the bat, you have them at the senior building, you have them at the rec, you have them at DPW, you have them at warehouse management, all our locations.
And I think one of the
I'm
points
okay
is-
with the plan, just the numbers astronomical to record just because we get I get 2 complaints a month, we're going to spend $100,000.
Right. I think a lot of that was hardware, and we can't back out of the hardware either.
Correct.
So-
I mean, it was, we all talked about it, you were very adamant about recording it.
Yeah.
I shared it with everybody, and then it was approved.
Didn't know the
and it
number
was done.
until-
Yes, no, the number was there, the number was given out 2 months ago.
And I think it's important to know that this protects the resident and our employee, both equally, if for anybody being accused of anything.
I will say, most of the complaints I get are residents saying an employee said something. Once we check and verify, it's usually the resident was wrong or giving us information the employee was correct. I will absolutely say that,
Yes.
but I'd like to be able to say, well, we know for a fact. It just happened to us last week with the DPW call. But I mean, I just didn't think it was that big of a project. Okay, so how soon before we're actually up and running?
Bobby, you have the electric done,
I'm waiting for the electrician Friday, hopefully Monday, once the outlets are installed, then it's,
then the hardware gets installed, but again, they will not activate any numbers unless they hear from attorney counsel on what policy, because it's policy driven. You know, who's going to be recorded, what's going to be recorded, and
Who's gonna be monitoring the
Huh?
reporters?
Again-
When there's a complaint, who's gonna go and check?
that all has to be discussed, so nothing's going to be configured until it's there. And I've said this multiple times prior. All of these steps have to be taken in place before it gets done. But we want it, we want it, we want it. Get done, get done, get
I
done.
get it. We tend to,
Right?
we tend to spend before we have the plan.
We should have had a
Well-
legal opinion before we did all this, I think.
And the bottom line is I was communicating to do that, and same thing, we gotta find a policy. What happens? You have to tell somebody they're being recorded.
I know.
Okay.
Every time I call my credit card line,
I've had a
it says,
recording
it's
system in place for quite some
that's
time.
basic. We don't have to tell her, it says you're being recorded. There's a beep sound, you know you're
And
being
when there's a
recorded.
complaint, I have a system to
And the nice system is
investigate
different.
that. No, I have
Yes.
an investigative unit that does that, and they find the wrongdoing.
Okay. But I just, okay. Fine. Anybody else on this?
I guess just the question is, what, in terms of the legal part, what does this look like? Obviously, we kind of just threw this part to our attorney, so, but I'm just wondering.
That's not true.
But what I'm saying is that I don't expect them to maybe have answers right now, but I'm wondering, what does this look like? Is this a manual? Is this an actual ordinance that we put, like, what does this look like? What is it that we're asking for? So we can understand so that that's not the one thing holding us back and we can get moving in that. So,
Like 6 years ago, I gave an opinion, I probably could find it, but
In the start.
it's not true. You do not have to tell people they're being recorded.
mhm.
What you hear on your, when you call your credit card company and it says for quality assurance, that's what it's for. They've chosen to tell you that. You do not have to, if you are party to a conversation, you do not have to tell that person that you're recording. It's actually federally that's the case, which is why they don't, your lines are recorded, you don't tell people.
No, but we're aware it's been.
You're
As long as one
As long
party
as
is
one
aware.
party-
Yeah, that's
As
right.
long as one party, I can't record
aware.
conversations between Councilman Guadabasco and the mayor. I can't record that conversation. But as long as one party to the conversation knows it's being recorded.
So then-
In terms of policy,
And what, we already know that, so that wouldn't need to be notified to the person.
Correct.
Okay.
correct.
Steve, if you get into a more secluded office or something like that, isn't there a minimal expectation of privacy in certain areas? They can't blanket the whole town, like, you know.
Well, yeah, no,
I know you've been into that,
Where
yeah.
you're recording things and what phones
Right.
you're recording is
Right.
a policy.
Yes.
And frankly, I believe it's Brian's policy, or the manager's policy.
Yeah.
It could be put in in our policy manuals, which I'm amending that right now, because they have to be amended. And how the procedurally what happens is something ultimately Brian will decide. If mayor and council want to have input, I'm sure Brian, ultimately it's Brian's decision. It's not a legislative function. It's like any other decision the manager makes. So we can record, and how that happens and who monitors it. You get a complaint, who goes to the phone lines and checks it is something that'll be internal to our Brian will decide that, I'm sure.
You agree it's resident-facing desks, right? Any resident-facing desks?
That was the original intent, was anybody that talks to the public in construction.
That's correct.
DPW, health, rec, we have five, law doesn't need it. HR doesn't need it. It's resident-facing to avoid people saying, I got told the wrong information. I get that email once a week, so we're just trying to avoid that. Again, I just was a little shocked. The number didn't think we needed that comprehensive product.
And that's a one-time fee, right? And then there's a service fee annually. Is that by the amount of ones we decide to turn on, or?
It was all stated, if I'm not mistaken, 2 months ago, there was a one-time fee, all the hardware and the installation, yes, and then there's a yearly maintenance. I don't remember that number off the top of my head. But again, as we went through this and shared it with Frank in the budget, all allocation was there. We had the budget meetings, things were discussed across the board. I just put it all out there, and now they come to fruition. You want to pull back, you can pull back. I'm just telling you, so.
I don't recall the $100,000 number ever being discussed in public. Anybody else remember that? Anybody that sits here at these meetings?
Okay, I'll double check, because I know I had it in my notes 2 months ago.
All right, we're good with that?
Yeah, so, manager will work on policy. and-
Policy, yeah, but I'm going to try to get us to policy first, spend second is the goal.
We haven't spent anything yet, I don't mean to interrupt you, but just if we haven't
If a
spent
PO has been
anything,
issued, it's a
We
contract.
cancel. We cancel.
Next up, so at last meeting, we had a conversation about fire prevention. So again, speaking of spending before we actually have a plan in place, I guess that's the perfect segue. So Frank, your numbers last meeting were about 1,000 inspections. I think the chief then said about 1,200 inspections. And those are just fire prevention, not including the multifamilies.
Correct.
So in order to get to that number that you said last meeting, which was about $500,000, which is what we've spent or about to spend.
350 and 25,000 on the 08.
Okay, we ended up at last, I can look, but we ended up last meeting at a number closer to 5. We bought cars.
Yeah, that's capital, that's.
I'm just saying the all-in number.
Yeah.
And again, I still don't understand why 3 part-time inspectors need 3 cars. Can't one work in the morning, one work in the afternoon, they share the same car?
Well, I'll give you an update on the numbers for the inspections. They're currently at about 14, the number is written from 1,100 to about 1,400. My informal word is storefronts, Mayor, those are the, I know it's not the technical.
Units, just call them units.
There's 1,400 units, 7,000 residential units over, I think, Chief, over a 3-year period need to be done.
There's about 1,400 inspections between the residential and the businesses, but then we have to go into individual units on a periodic basis, and that's about 7,000 units, 3-family and above units, in addition. So we have to do the common area of every building.
I would check that number. I don't believe we have 7,000.
Okay, we just added a bunch on.
I know we have about 8,000 residential units in the town, I believe. I could be wrong.
Yeah, we do. We have over 8,000 residential units.
So how do we have 7,000?
Well, if you factor in the apartments, if you count each apartment individually,
That's what we're talking.
yeah.
Okay.
Because we have some apartment complexes that exceed 400 units. So.
And to be correct, they have to go into each individual unit.
On a
But
periodic
that's every
basis,
3 years.
Well, we decide every 3 years, yes.
So we have 1,400 units that have to be done annually, we believe.
And how many businesses?
No, that's 1,400 inspections.
We're calling it 1,400.
Yeah.
So 1,400 units annually. Unless we're charging $250 a unit, you do the quick math to get to the 350
We'll
number.
have to get this 7,000.
You gotta blend the 7,000 in over years.
Correct.
That's a lot of inspections for 3 part-time people. How are we doing so far, you know?
Well, yeah, sure.
According, at the county meetings, when I ask, what do you think this entails as far as inspector-wise, they say every 500 you need a full-time. So we're way under, we're starting under, we're gonna reevaluate in a year and see where we're at, but we're under the number that they recommend. Anyway, hoping we can get done what we have. That's why we cut those out over 3 years, but they're saying 500 per inspector full-time.
I know we're not, just like construction code, we're not allowed to use the permit fees as a moneymaker. But I just don't want to lose hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. We have inspectors in place,
We do.
cars are in place. And when does the program roll out?
Program already started, right? You've already started
Well,
building
we
the database.
started putting a database together, which, I think we have from the tax department, the building department, health department, we got all their stuff together, we made one database. It's probably the only complete database in town with businesses, residents. Only thing we don't have is 1 or 2 families, but we had to go out and get all the owner information, so it might have the owner's
So
name.
the part-time inspectors, who's doing that work? The part-time inspectors?
We have a clerk doing that,
Okay.
doing the database, and the inspectors are helping, looking up all the.
But right now, we're not inspecting yet.
We're waiting for the ordinance to be passed, hopefully.
Which is tonight.
It's tonight.
So the 7,000 is a changer then. That 7,000 over 3 years is going to add a lot more inspections and offset the revenue.
Hey, if you remember early on this year, you were on the budget committee, I told you this is a 2-year phase to get this thing done.
I'm all for that, but we tend to, we hire up and we equipment up before we have a plan in place to actually do the work.
In this case, this is not part of fire, this is separate and apart from the fire department. These moves had to be made, building the database, which has never existed, the projections, the cars, getting all the things in place. You're going to have a significant number of inspections before the end of this year.
Also, the inspections on these non-life hazards is a state mandated just as of this year, so we're kind of behind. They did it in February, but there's no way to be ready.
And the business ones have to be done every year. The other ones are done every couple of years. The business
All
have
the
to be done
buildings will be done every year.
every single year.
Common areas for the residential, and then each apartment, would be every 3 weeks?
So we vetted the program with the budget committee, then we started to put the program in place. Now we're building our database, which we're basically just about done. The ordinance will be in place tonight, and the inspections are gonna immediately start,
All
right?
these buildings that we have to get into, obviously, we have to schedule with the owners and the business building managers, so it's gonna take some time.
That'll be the hardest part.
Chief, where's the where's the department physically gonna be? Do you have like a location yet?
It's in fire prevention headquarters. We always use that office for administrative, and we kind of took some desks and made some rooms, so we have it right in fire headquarters.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else? Nope. We're gonna move on. Councilman Velez, community meeting on parking feedback.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. So I'm going to go through these fairly quickly just for time purposes. So for the community meeting on parking, we had a good meeting at the senior center. There was Councilman Graziano, Councilman Cazarelli, we had the manager. We had a really good turnout from a lot of different groups in the town, residents from all 4 wards. I want to thank specifically the Belleville Police Department. I want to thank Chief Medicini. I want to thank Captain Pignataro, Sergeant Abate. It was a really good conversation. People were very charged, very angry, but I think definitely it was a great starting point to really get that feedback and to really absorb, some of the common critiques that we're hearing. And we did see that all of these critiques were fairly consistent. There was a lot of anger and definitely a big desire from residents talking about the need to be able to park in front of their own homes. Obviously, this is a varied issue, right, for depending on what part of the town you're from. Silver Lake is very different than Route 10 Estates. Route 10 Estates is very different from the White Oak section. Every part is different. I think we heard those concerns, but we heard some consistent concerns as well. So I do think it was a good starting point to hear those concerns. I'm going to go on to the second item, solar safety stick questions.
So, wait, can we?
Yes.
I wasn't there. Do I know any of the concerns or the feedback besides people being in, like?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, we can go into
What, this wasn't your item, this was Councilman Velez, Len.
whatever you want to do.
Yes, so to the mayor's point, Brian and I did collect information that we are going to share with everybody, concerns. I think we had about over 20 specific concerns, but a lot of them were repeats outside of those. But we wanted to get those specific concerns that we're going to share with everybody.
You have 1 or 2 that you could share with us.
Some of them were, if you don't mind me interjecting, some of them were along the lines of businesses operating on side streets, putting pressure on parking on the street, and border streets. Border streets that we're dealing with issues that I think we can look into right out of the gate, because we already have programs to deal with those. I'll wait till mine to discuss the rest, because that's a broader issue that we're facing in all of our districts, and it's really hard to get our arms around it.
Right.
Want me to wait, or we can run to, I don't know.
So, I mean, if we're going to stay on this, I've done some work myself on this. I actually reached out to neighboring communities that have similar challenges, similar sized communities. Spoke directly with the mayor in one community, and I said, Mayor, what are you guys doing about it? She said, well, we did a parking study. I said, great. What did you find out? She said, we spent $50,000 to find out we have a parking problem. Exactly what she said to me, exactly. And then she gave me some feedback of what she had at her meetings, and of the list of feedback, I filed an OPA request actually to review. I was actually Negley Engineering that did the parking study. I have a list of feedback, and almost every single one of them is things that we've already done. So root out and eliminate illegal apartments is something that we're looking at. Hiring additional parking enforcement officers, we've done that. Create a second shift for parking enforcement officers to work later, we've done that. Change commercial vehicle ordinances, we're actively doing that all the time. Purchase new parking meters that take credit cards, we've actually done that. Add on-street parking spaces by reducing the foreigner, allowing people to park in front of their driveways is another one. So of a lot of the recommendations that they came up with, so I think we saved $50,000 by, and we've already been ahead of that, I think, by doing a lot of these things proactively.
Yes, I mean, listen, we can dive into some of those other areas too. Like, if you want to talk about illegal apartments, it's very hard to catch them. And those illegal apartments can put 3 to 5 more cars on the street, just one apartment. I mean, I see ones that come in and they try to get permits for them, and they're 3-bedroom basement apartments that they're creating. So that's at least possibly 3 more cars on the street that really shouldn't be there. You want to talk about businesses that put their cars on the streets. Their employees show up at work throughout the day, and they go out to work. They put vehicles that are not particularly labeled commercial, whether it be Sprinter vans or pickup trucks, and they use them for commercial businesses such as construction or cleaning businesses or transport businesses.
Brian, we're also, though, a victim of our own successes. And I say that because we've never had traffic enforcement, or meter enforcement, I should say, on Washington Avenue. Now we got the new meters, we got the app, and that was another suggestion, a digital app that now we have. So again, most of the suggestions from that town we already have, but we have now Park Mobile, we have now parking enforcement. I don't think they have 3 brand new cars, but I think they have some vehicles that they're using to do traffic. And they're going up down the street, and what's happening is, it's the law of unintended consequences. People are now not, I work on Washington Avenue, Vinny lives on Washington Avenue. People really aren't parking on Washington Avenue anymore. Where they're going into the side streets. So we have a specific business on Washington Avenue, it's a large congregation, it's a church, and they're not parking there, they're parking on all the side streets, and now guess what, the neighbors on those side streets are now complaining about having no parking. It's got nothing to do with illegal apartments or too many cars, it's just got some of that, depending on the area. And if you live in close proximity to Washington Avenue, you're suffering because cars have now been pushed out from parking on Washington. They don't want to pay, they don't want the meter.
That's happening on Franklin Street too, mate.
Franklin Street too, yeah.
They're
So
going to the side.
that's, you're not going to solve some issues.
No, but again, those aren't the issues we were talking about. There are different issues. And the different issues are actually in our residential neighborhoods. So yeah, some of that overflow from the main streets are going off onto the side streets, and maybe we need to come up with a solution for that to keep business patrons on the main street. Because remember, if we take away the metered parking, then we have people who live on the side streets parking in front of somebody's business. Now that hurts the business. Our goal is to put turnover in those areas.
But let's keep in mind, we've worked very hard here, our redevelopment committee has, on all the new buildings have parking. All the new buildings have, that was another recommendation from this town, that every single new development has one spot. We do that.
We do that.
We go further and we force visitor parking. We get it now, we have a challenge with that, with them charging and all that stuff. We're going to work through that. However, I say that because I live on Union Avenue. On the corner of Union Avenue and Geralman Street is a giant apartment building. 0 parking spaces. 0. So for all of those out there that talk about the new buildings and all the parking, okay, that building was probably built in the 20s, 30s, or 40s. That's Geralman and Union Avenue. There's a ton of apartments there.
Not one parking.
Most 0 parking spaces. Most of those people are not single adult households with just 1 car. They're multiple cars. It's cheap, right down the street. I see the Fillmore building, right across from Frank's or Freight's.
Across from Fred's, another one.
Another building, how many parking spots?
Not one.
0.
Not one.
I'm going to start driving around this town and taking pictures of all the large buildings that have 0 parking. And that's also leading to it. And we can't stop people from moving in on. The notion that this has something to do with our development, yes, we have challenges with that we've actively discussed last council meeting, or we're working through, but it's not just one problem with one solution. You have to look at it in each individual neighborhood and figure out what we could do.
I fully agree with that.
And let me add one more thing, I'm sorry. I'm somebody who grew up close to number 3 school, and now I live across the street from number 3 school. When I was a kid, Board of Education people that are here, when I was a kid, we had playgrounds in our schools, real playgrounds. Now we don't. Now they're teacher parking. And now where the teachers don't get a spot in there, where do they park? They park on the street. Let's not talk about the extra 400 employees that the school district has hired in the last couple of years. Where are they coming? They're coming in, they're going to traffic in the morning and they're parking somewhere. So it's not just like we're overdeveloped and we don't have enough parking. You have to look at it much differently.
Yeah, no, I agree. And a lot of the new stuff we built, just like you said, Mayor, we added rules in place to have adequate parking from our big buildings to even in our residential districts. We require if you build a new house, you got to have a parking space per bedroom, off street. So we're not impacting the street the way the older houses are. The problem is, though, and I say it all the time, whether it be the schools or anything else, the management of 1 to 3 family houses do cause a lot of problems throughout our neighborhoods because they are doing things they shouldn't be doing. The concept is really to better control those neighborhoods to make them more livable for everybody. The streets are provided by the taxpayer for everybody. No single user should be unfairly able to take up the entire street, whether with collectibles or commercial vehicles that they're hiding somehow, or extra vehicles because of the illegal apartments. I mean, I get calls from people that say, my daughter had to walk 3 blocks at night because her daily driver, she couldn't find a spot. So now it's a girl is walking by herself at night.
That same
That-
call,
that
I know
hurts
the neighborhood
families.
you're talking about.
Yeah, that hurts families. So we want to be fair. The concept of fair is really what we need to look at. No one user owns our streets. We have to do what we can to produce as much parking as possible, which means maybe limiting what's on the streets. I don't know how to do it, I don't know the fairest way to do it, so I don't think we need a parking study to say, we have a parking problem. We know we have a parking problem.
Give me
We need help
$50,000,
with solutions.
I'll tell you if it's a parking problem.
We need help with solutions, exactly. The study's a joke in that sense. We need solutions, and we need help with those solutions.
I grew up here, and 40 years ago, and Chief grew up in the same area on the other side of town, Kevin, there was no parking then. 40 years ago on Sanford Avenue, I had to go to Bluefield and park and run home at night
Yeah.
to get in. So this isn't an overnight problem.
No.
This is,
It's not, I
you
grew
got a
up,
lot of 2 families in certain parts of town also.
Yes, and that makes it hard.
I grew up in a three-family house with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bedrooms within that 3-family. At one point, we had 2 cars in the whole building, because my mother didn't drive. The kids were young. By the time I graduated college, my mother had a car, my father had a car, I had a car, my sister had a car. That was just one unit. It comes in cycles.
Yeah, well, that now
And now
people-
cars are cheaper and easier to get.
I was just gonna say that, and now people not only have those primary cars for each person in the house, they have an extra vehicle. Or they're putting their boat in their driveway, or their trailer in their driveway, and now they're throwing more cars out into the street. Or they're just putting secondary vehicles out in the street because one person doesn't wanna park in their driveway. It's a difficult thing, and as we try to create enough parking for everybody, how do we create less? We can't go in that direction. So it's difficult.
Yeah, Brian, one thing, you mentioned that the fire department is gonna help out with illegal apartments when they go on their inspections. Do we have a mechanism actually in place like that? So if they go on a 3-family inspection and they go down the, are they gonna go down the basement, like, or are they just going to the units?
They gotta go into each unit. If they get a red flag, they'll send it up to code. Code's problem is.
But what's a red flag about an
A red
illegal
flag is
basement?
if you
If
see
it's not
maybe-
listed, they're not gonna go
It's
down
not
there.
listed, or they're going through spaces that don't look like.
I got you,
it's
Chief. I got you, Chief.
Go ahead.
Chief, wait, hold on, before the Chief Minikin. Every time our police department goes for a domestic violence or something like that, if there's an issue in a basement, they actually write a report.
Right, yeah,
That
I know
report
that.
goes to the construction department. I am yet aware of one single illegal apartment we've shut down.
We
because of that.
find illegal apartments.
So-
Okay.
Look at stuff
I know,
like that.
but that's what I'm saying.
So we're gonna go out to the court system now. It's very difficult to enforce certain things when you can't get into the building. You get into it, so now we have.
Life
paper,
safety,
right?
the fire department can get in any apartment they have to get in.
I mean, they're in the building, so why can't we just poke your head
I
down?
made
there?
the suggestion,
Okay.
Oprah, the body camera footage will be redacted, and then that can be used for the code enforcement, the issue of something.
But now what about fire
So
department?
then we have these owners that don't show up for court, well, because we do issue citations.
Yeah, I'm
They
not
don't
saying it's
show up
gonna be
for court.
easy.
It's
You're not
not
getting anybody out. I'm
It's
telling
not
you
easy.
now.
I always say, this is one thing that I always do say, if we did have parking permits, and the illegal units couldn't get them, they can't really, it makes it
They
very
can't park.
difficult for
Right.
people.
So the next question is then, who's going to drive around and look for those parking decals? Not the police department, because they're too busy. So we're creating another program. We've yet to create the policy and procedures for programs we're already paying for, and we're already contemplating another program that once we get that in place, there's going to be virtually no enforcement on that.
I do believe there is a plate reader program that
Yes.
you tell me about that can help
Yeah.
monitor that. So all they gotta do is drive down the street,
And it
reads all the
pings.
plates,
Yeah.
it goes into a database that we create.
Yeah, I suggested that, but I don't know what that's gonna cost.
We don't know if that's gonna cost, but these are ideas. We're talking
Mhm.
ideas right now.
Okay.
And let's remember.
I do want to move on.
Parking permits do not create spots.
They
They
don't.
just get the violators out of there,
So
so they
they
don't
get-
make more spots.
If they get the violators out of there, then there are more spots.
What violators? If I'm in a
Out of town
three-family
people, out of
family
town.
house with
Out of
6
town
people
people.
that have a driver's license and cars, it's not going to eliminate not one car.
Out of
No,
town people,
I'm saying
Yeah, I
that, it
think
doesn't
the
make
council thinks
spots.
we're going to eliminate cars. We're not.
out of town people, commercial use vehicles that maybe not be labeled community.
Out-of-town person, right.
And illegal apartments, yes, you can create more spaces by getting rid of the abuses on our streets. Now, again, I'm not vouching for any concept of the program or what the cost of it's gonna be, or how it would work. Theoretically, it would get vehicles off the street.
Got it. Let's move on, please, if everybody's good. So, next.
Okay, now solar safety sticks, I just had a few questions about them. So, Chief, for the grace period, is there a specific grace period?
There is, actually, I can answer most of the questions, 90 seconds.
Okay.
And Frank, if you have any questions about programs like this in the future, we don't have to discuss them and take up the whole council. You can email them into the manager or to the chief.
Right. The only reason I bring this up is so that people are aware, because I've heard of instances where people have said they were there for 30 seconds and they got taken. Okay, but,
Welcome to government.
right,
They're
but
gonna lie
I,
to you as much as they can.
right, but I do want to get that information out there.
It's
So-
fine, yeah, but if you email, you can get the answer and you can still put that information out there. It's 90 seconds.
Right, but there are people here who will watch the meeting, so thank you for answering the question. The exact review process, I have heard about it, but just for the edification of the public, what is that
And-
process?
And just to be clear, we put this information on the website, it's been on social media, and it's been out there in various different formats. That, at least 4 pictures are taken of every single violation. It's uploaded to a system. Our members of our traffic department review those physically, eyes on by a police officer, physically review the photos. If they believe that there's a violation, they then manually write a ticket and mail it to the violator.
Okay, and what is the exact distance for the pictures to be taken?
Distance, I'm not sure what that is.
So the distance from the stick?
Well, it's the distance from the curb, from the corner, right? Was it 25 feet if there's no stop sign and 50 if there's a stop
Wherever the
sign?
yellow curve is, yeah.
Then you have a hydrant,
Mhm.
Hydrant, crosswalk, and yellow curves.
Yeah, hydrants, what, 10 and 10?
10 feet.
Tomorrow I'll be on News 12 talking about this, by the way. That's why I know the answer.
Great. Okay, and then the next item is about the grant team. So I was seeing as, previously we did have different development presentations here at the council meetings, that we could have grant team presentations to not only educate the public, but kind of explain what type of grants are available, why we get grants, how the application process is, and why that could be beneficial for the township, and really what the good work is already being done right now with the grants. So I wanted to bring that up.
Okay.
And lastly, this one is just more out of curiosity. There have been very mixed opinions. I've gotten feedback from Milton Street. There are people who are 100% against double-side parking, but there is a good amount of people who are asking why is it only single side parking on Milton Street. I know this has been the case for many years. I just wanted to see if anybody had an answer as to why that is the case.
I have to guess.
I can only guess is that
Probably the
for
fire
a fire
truck.
truck to get
Yeah.
by and it's such a large venue
Yeah.
like that.
Right,
Being it's a large venue with a lot of persons,
people.
people there,
Or
God
both
forbid,
sides,
some,
big problem.
God forbid, some type of emergency,
I know the
that
street.
they would need to muster
They
there.
need to
The
muster,
fire
yeah.
trucks would need to muster there in that area and cars.
There's a pretty good bend by the building there, that you want to be able to get through.
That would be my guess. Again, that's been there probably before I was born that way, but.
Okay.
I think the rec in the high school drop-offs and other deliveries over there for events.
Okay. So it's safe to say, is it also ambulatory route?
Any street can be.
Well, it's a cut through.
Okay.
Between Greylock and Division, so yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Frank, you're next. Down to 2 minutes. Right here at this
I
microphone.
only need 30 seconds, right? If that. The manager wanted me to just update the council as a whole for the situation that we briefed the finance committee on regarding the health insurance. We received a letter from our risk manager. We're looking at about $1 million. They were off their target before the end of this year. So we're probably going to have to move to an emergency appropriation in October or November.
So that's $9 million extra for next year's budget. That we just passed.
That's just now.
Or the whole $1 million.
That will be compounded into the 20 or 30% projection.
Just to put the numbers in perspective, people, we have about, what, $89 million budget? Next year's insurance, health insurance is projected at $24 million.
24 million for the health
Well,
insurance.
people say why our budget keeps increasing. Things we have no control. We're on the state plan, they're up, what, 30 or 40%? 40%.
I take the state educators plan for the Board of Education. When we started, we had the choice of New Jersey Direct 10, 15 with Blue Cross and Blue Shield. We've switched over since then because there was a $900,000 increase. So, and I was paying a ton of money, so I actually dropped it from the direct 10 to the state health educators plan, and I saved like $240 a month. I was paying like $800 a month, down to at least $6 something.
Frank, did we
And I
not,
still pay it, so. Coverage is exactly the same, except for out-of-network was another 10% difference, because I looked into that because I didn't want my husband's medical, because of his disability, so.
Frank, outside of percentages, do we get a total dollar amount? I know 24 million is what we pay now. Do we have any other options that might be?
Not at this point, not at this point.
so are we gonna explore options? We're just gonna
We
keep
are,
paying?
we are going to explore.
What's that
We
look
have
like,
been
exploring
exploring options.
Yes, nothing is off the table, Mayor. The issue is, for us, is coverage. There are avenues for savings, but we're contractually obligated for certain levels of coverage that needs to be negotiated out. We're currently negotiating our contracts new, so that is the sticking point.
Right, so
We
just so
can
the-
easily go to state health benefits.
There's
but the
members
coverage
of the
is gonna
public that
happen.
would say, just switch. We can't. We're
You cannot
contractually
do that.
obligated
That is
to
not-
labor unions via
Is your-
contracts.
Yeah, your contract should read just like the Board of Ed. It's equal to or better.
Well, the state plan is not gonna be equal to.
It's not
I
gonna be
didn't
equal to
decide
that.
what I have.
State
I
health
went through
benefits, the state health
Aetna.
benefits.
We have Aetna, state health educator.
Yeah, we're going from self-insured to a private one, so it's not.
So, Tommy, you just said that it is the same.
No, she said hers is the same. If you went to the state health benefits program, from state health benefits,
Oh,
it's the
from
same.
state, right.
From
Us
Horizon to
is
Aetna,
not.
it's the same.
The unions would have to.
We can't go from Cadillac coverage to state plan. We get beat because the labor contract says equal to or better.
We went from Horizon to Aetna, and they saved about $880,000 the Board of Ed.
Okay, so you have some marching
In
orders
any event, there's
we're exploring.
things in the works.
Yes.
And we're going to work with our unions, being that it's contract time, we are going to work with our unions.
Getting rid of people that are 120 years old, that we're not paying for them anymore.
I did that already.
We did that a year ago. Found how many people? How many people?
19,
A lot.
About 150,000 we saved, yeah.
19.
It's a lot of money for dead people. Okay, moving along, we have Mr. Bandit, quickly. We have 6 minutes to wrap up this whole session.
Want to go with the raffle?
So, Mayor and Council, the first item is the raffle license procedure. We've been getting a lot of complaints with some of the raffle licensees. One, because they're submitting their applications late. The state is still old-fashioned with a paper trail, nothing is online. So it takes roughly between 2 to 3 months to approve a license. And a lot of them, again, they're not
Can I
applying.
interrupt you for 1 second? The state's still working from home. I applied for 6 licenses, I got them, but I did it a year in advance. The state is still, just like the ABCs, which I'm sure you're aware of, the state is still working from home.
The state spent good money updating the raffle license application, and when they were going to launch it out, they forgot that they needed to include the municipal clerk, so that stopped everything, and 2 years later, they're still working on it. But anyway, so, but you can fix this if, through a ordinance, the municipal clerk can approve a license once it's sent to the state, and if the state has no objection, the municipal clerk can sign off on the license.
How
It
would we
doesn't
know if
have-
they have no objection before they review to have an objection?
No. The application comes in, is sent out to the state.
It worked like an agency
20
license.
Right, then there's a 20-day period. Wait, once that, a 20-day period, the clerk can
Okay.
issue the license right there and then. My suggestion is, I can always bring it up on a monthly basis, under communication, what licenses, how many are licensees,
Let's do it.
and it's a way how to work with the community and help them out.
Can you put that ordinance forward eventually? Forward soon?
We'll have something draft.
I'm sure somebody's done it.
Well, yeah, we'll have something.
Okay, next.
Okay, the Claremont Bus Shelter, we talked about this a while back. They did a resolution for us, adopt a shelter. I guess it's called they will finance and pay for installing a shelter there and any of the work that's in it. The only requirement in that is that we have to maintain it thereafter. And the reason why we were asking for this is because we removed the bus shelter that was there right outside of Claremont. It was in disrepair. So there's been requests for it back, if the council is interested. Steve will write up a
As
resolution.
long as it's not a home for homeless people.
There's pictures there on the presentation.
We
You-
talked
you
about
do
this
have
before,
pictures in
and
the ordinance,
and we were under the misimpression that they would maintain it as well.
Yes.
That's why it's,
Right.
this is back,
Yes.
because afterwards I told Brian, I had the correspondence from New Jersey Transit. They'll install it, pay for it, and then the alternative is just a bench, concrete pad. So, the town would just have to maintain it, meaning, make sure it's clean, take stickers off it, that kind of.
It is still a bus stop.
Can I just add one thing? When I was on the council 25 years ago, we did an ordinance to do the first bus stops. And that company owes us a revenue, Frank, we get a piece of the ads.
Advertising.
Yeah, do we ever get that? Ever gotten anything from them?
Getting hold of the person in charge of that is supposed to be you.
Well, how about DPW rips down all the bus shelters?
I was just gonna say,
How about
what if we just rip down the ads? I don't wanna destroy
But
it.
just put paint over the ads then, because we were supposed to, I was here for that. We were supposed, and then I remember at one point, we found them, we got a big check, and then we never got paid again. So can we let Karen hunt them down? I'm not gonna hide from Karen. I'm not gonna hide from Karen. I go Willie, put Willie on.
Listen,
Put your best people on it, please. Can we do that?
we can, I'm very happy to,
In that case,
Mayor, I'm very happy to have DPW remove the ads.
black paint, roll it right over.
Done.
I mean, because I was here for that. Actually, it was Jimmy Crone.
Yeah.
You remember that, him? How many years ago was that?
That was longer than 25 years.
Well, he was around longer than that, but he was the one that did those bus shelters 25 years ago. Now, probably gone 15 years ago. But that doesn't mean we don't get our money. The company's been sold, and it's been very complicated, but
I understand exactly what you're
I'm
saying.
sure Karen can.
I think we'll get their attention if we remove the ads. So, do we wanna do the,
I think we covered that already. For what?
do we wanna do the resolution of support for the bus shelter near Claremont?
Sure, why not? Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, we already did parking, so Mill Street Park.
Mill Street Park, you guys got a copy of that in your packet. That is a landscape architect did that for us from CME. We ordered that after the councilwoman asked for it. Do you like it, or do you want us to have any changes or items added to it? It's
If
a
we
simple,
could have a swing or something for kids in that area, that really
Okay,
wouldn't
swings.
swing much if they're gonna walk there and sit in there with the parents. A little swing or slide.
They have to walk there, there's no place to park.
The park up right now.
Chief, do we really
I
need the
don't
parking
want
jokes
you
out tonight? We don't need the parking jokes.
And then they'll get a ticket.
all we have in there is right now is a gazebo, and we don't want
A little swing.
All right, are we good?
Oh, the gazebo's gone.
No, we're gonna put a new one in, that's a part of the plan.
I was there for
There we put the names back up.
I was there for the ribbon cutting, and I reigned under the demise of it as well. That happened quick.
All right.
We're good?
Very good.
Okay, so that took an hour, just so everybody knows, the work session and proclamations and everything else took an hour. We're now ready to begin our regular meeting at 7 o'clock. So if we had started our regular meeting at 7 o'clock, we'd be at this part at 8 o'clock. So I still think 7 o'clock is a great time to start the main business portion of the meeting. With that being said, next on the agenda is report of the manager.
All right. The police department completed the review of the handicap parking throughout town. The review resulted in 34 spaces being removed that were no longer in use. They have also reopened the handicap parking application program with the new rules and fees in place, which we hope will reduce the abuse of the program and help free up more parking on the streets for residents. The police are still painting yellow curbs. They work till they run out of paint, and then they continue once they get more. I believe they're currently still working in Silver Lake, if anybody sees them out there.
Whole list of corners.
Yes.
Waiting for a new delivery.
55-gallon drums of paint.
Fairway Park, the pump station should be completed by possibly tomorrow. And the Fairway Park itself is under construction again. If you look in there, there is the dog park and the community garden being worked on. We're hoping to get an update soon from the engineers on what the timeline is to complete the project. The Park will be starting in October. Franklin Avenue from Durham to Continental will be receiving streetscaping upgrades, hopefully starting tomorrow. This work is funded through existing grant money we have to use up. The Pistol Range site, Councilman Velez brought it up, I think, last in the August meeting. We're gonna get a survey of it, and we're gonna try to see if we can come up with any ideas for its use, rec facilities, whatever it might be. The state DOT project, as you know, has not moved. It's been sitting. They're working on some underground piping issues and some poles that have to be relocated. They were waiting for us, but I think we cleared that up, so hopefully they get moving again. The Little League and Friendly House will be receiving internet and security upgrades as we move to better incorporate those facilities into our recreational offerings. The Friendly House is also...
The mayor didn't hear that, Madam Chair.
Oh, I'm
The
sorry.
mayor didn't hear that.
Huh?
Explain, he didn't hear
Deputy
what
Mayor
you
was
just said.
talking to me. What was that?
What you just
I
said
want to hear it.
about technology.
The Little League Field and the Friendly House will be receiving internet and security upgrades as we move to better incorporate those facilities into our recreational offerings.
I've seen the swipe there at the senior.
No, I'm just saying.
The senior building got it already.
Speaking of which, the Wi-Fi password that's on the wall is the wrong Wi-Fi. Now that you had to get me going on that. Thank you for the Wi-Fi, but the password's incorrect.
I think our rec director should be on that one.
Thank you for the Wi-Fi, everybody, but if we could provide the right password, it would be great.
So, the Friendly, back to where we were. The Friendly House, the floors are going to be being worked on. I think the rec director said starting possibly tomorrow. And hopefully that'll be done in a month.
November 11th.
November 11th. So that's new hardwood floors that are much better suited for basketball and our other sports that we play in there. The courtroom upgrades, they should be starting tomorrow, I think. Not tomorrow? After this meeting? I would have to push a little bit.
The temperature control in this room?
No, that would be all of our voice controls and our recording
We're
controls.
still going to sweat, but we're going to record the meetings.
It sounded gorgeous.
We can go into what the problem with the air system is.
No, we're good. We got a long meeting ahead of us.
Other than that, I just want to let the council know that we did start contract negotiations. If you have any questions about that, or anybody brings anything up to you, please reach out to either the budget committee or the manager's team. We'll be communicating with you through the process.
Right to
Right to the manager. There you go. So that's all I got.
I got a couple quick things for you. You mentioned the floor in the Friendly House. After that's completed, we could do our adult leagues. Right here. So it's only a couple, 5 years, 6 years. I've been asking for that. So maybe we could have a little.
We don't appreciate sarcasm.
Yeah.
We don't engage in sarcasm.
So maybe you could throw some ideas by us and see, where we want to go with that.
Dodgeball.
Something, just
I like
something.
dodgeball. That's great.
Gotta get this aggression out somewhere. Well, so where are we with the credit card, taking credit cards at town hall? Add on to that 5 or 6 years?
So I'll answer your question. So
Thank you.
we spent the money, we got the hardware, we haven't implemented anything yet.
I just spoke to Mary today, we got a class coming up, they're gonna come and train us.
Translation, we have the equipment, we spent the money, we have not implemented anything yet.
Is the credit card a thing?
We're very good at spending and
Just
not
followed up
implementing.
on that yesterday, and
So do we have like a projected date that we're gonna be able to accept credit cards?
I'd say by the end of next month.
But I don't, we haven't paid for anything yet. Until this thing's up and running, you're not getting paid for it. So they have to do the training, there's a couple of controls they have to put in, have to add, and then should be in by the end of the year. I don't want too many of these things around town, because I gotta watch the controls on, but they need one.
Right,
in certain areas.
I think.
Construction code.
Construction code.
Construction.
Yeah.
Fire prevention.
Yeah.
Construction crew will be ready in a month.
They should have the wireless terminal, so they
Yeah, okay. Maybe by the beginning of the year, January
I
1st?
told them, I said I want it done by the end of the year.
Frank, construction code? Construction code will have it?
Yeah, they're doing all three at the same time.
I just want to
Okay.
clarify, just asked.
Alright, cool.
Believe any of it?
That's what I had to say.
Anything else, man?
That's it.
Anybody else for the manager? I'm going to move on to the mayor's report. So we're going to go quick. Tomorrow we have a blood drive. Information's on the website. Tuesday, September 30th, the County Road to Wellness. That's a Tuesday. We've actually arranged for transportation via our dial-a-ride to bring seniors that want to go to the county program that day. Again, information on the website. Thursday, October 4th, seniors interested in the PAS-1 tax relief. Our Assemblywoman is doing an information session at the Senior Center. Our town-wide garage sales are going to be Saturday, October 4th and Saturday, October 5th. Information's on our website. Please register in advance so your information can be promoted as on a map of who's doing them. Saturday, October 4th, our food truck festival returns. That's always a great night. Sunday, October 5th, speaking of fire prevention open house, it's always a great event. Kids love it. Friday, October 10th, we basically conclude our Hispanic Heritage Month with the Cuban flag raising. That's going to be Friday, October 10th. Saturday, October 11th, Rhythm and Roots. I had to figure out what that was because when you look at the flyer, it doesn't tell you what it was. I believe it's part of Hispanic Heritage Month or Festival.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we might want to put that on. I honestly didn't know. I thought it was a dance thing or something. I didn't know what that was. I really didn't. I'm not kidding. Sunday, October 12th, is the Italian flag raising at 9 o'clock, followed by the parade. Step off is 1:30, and they are very sharp, not like our friend Naomi. They are very, past events, very quick. We ended our summer concert series with country and amazing fireworks show. I will let everybody know that we did save the $8,000 for that fireworks show because yours truly complained so much to the firework vendor on July 4th that they got tired of hearing me complain, and they gave us a $20,000 show to end our summer concerts for free. Not only did we not spend the $8,000, we got our original $20,000 show that we should have had on July 4th because they had a technical glitch and malfunction, and I did not let them hear the end of it. We had a great senior end of summer barbecue. Thank you, Recreation Department. That was a good event. We had a great September 11th ceremony, very well run, very well received by everybody. We had a good shred day. We had our Puerto Rican flag raising last Monday. The annual double PD versus Puerto Rico softball game was last Thursday, again, part of our Hispanic Heritage Month. Belleville Police unfortunately dropped both games, and we're going to do a little better next year, Chief. A little better.
I gotta be the coach.
And this past Saturday, many members of the council joined at Michael Motorcycle Mall for their 50th anniversary. Last but not least, a little bit of news. Polling locations are changing once again in the 4th Ward. I've spoken to 4th Ward Councilwoman Diana Guardabasco, myself, the clerk, various people within his department. We've done another tour with county officials. We believe that we've got some suitable locations now that will be much better than the ones we had. The county, we have a Zoom call tomorrow, Albert. The county is going to be noticing and communicating with that, with our residents on that. So if you live in the 4th Ward and you're affected, you will know by various ways in the very near future. As I mentioned earlier, I've been in contact with neighboring mayors about their parking-related issues, and we get the benefit of their $50,000 parking studies. Early voting starts October 25th. It ends November 2nd. And if you want to catch me tomorrow, I'll be on News 12 discussing our safety sticks. Other than that, let's move forward to the approval of minutes.
They are for the September 10th special
Brian,
meeting.
give him the mic, please.
Approval of minutes of the special meeting of September 10th.
I need a motion.
Second.
A motion made and second. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Peña?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Guardabasco?
Yes.
Muldrow?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham.
Yes.
The minutes are approved.
Next up, communications.
Communications, you spoke about the Cuban flag raising on October 10th at 10 a.m. We have the Columbus Day Parade and flag raising ceremony on October 12th, starting at 9 a.m. here in Town Hall. And we have item C, the Mayor Melham's Mayor Medals of Achievements. This is for the Basketball Essex County Suburban 6th Grade Champions medals 61 through 74. And then we have Mayor Melham's Mayor Medals of Achievement. This is for the Belleville Junior Bucks Rec Track and Field 2025. What's the EC for?
Essex County.
Oh, thank you. Suburban League Track and Field Championship medals 75 through 98. And we have Mayor Melham's Mayor Medals of Achievement for the Little League World Series Championships medal 99 through 111.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is... Sure.
I don't know if it's Brian or Frank. Does the rec pay for these medals?
I think the mayor's,
Oh, but I just thought it would say, if it's for recreation, which they all are recreation, I just thought it would have said something different. But,
Civic Association.
okay, so it's on here as that, but different. Okay.
No, come on. It's on here, that, but different. What does that mean?
it's on here as mayor, but it's not council related per se.
That's why
not
it's communication.
council-
That's why it's communication.
I know, but still, personally, it should be, if it's on the agenda for the public, it should be, because we're in public, we're here in our council, it's us. If it's recreation, it should definitely say.
It's not recreation.
Right. Okay.
I'm confused.
Confused, if it's for the mayor, it should be under, outside this council, my personal opinion.
Isn't the mayor on the council?
Yes, but you're paying for it out of your own pocket, it's not coming from the rec. Or is Little League on the rec? Is Little League on the rec?
Yes.
Is Suburban League track on the rec?
Right.
Is Belleville Junior Bucks on the rec?
Right. So
Okay, that's all. I just wanted to get, why wouldn't it come in, why
why
wouldn't
don't we
the
then
rec?
ask the rec director why he doesn't give medals?
That's a good point.
Because when we don't give medals, I step up and give medals.
So that's a good point. I'm just asking a
You can
question.
step up and give a medal if you like.
I don't have an discussion.
Well, there you go. There's the answer.
That's why I wouldn't do it in public, because it's not about me.
Okay. Actually, if you know a little bit about the program, Tommy, it's not about me. It's about telling the kids that they will now be recorded in the official record of the township. So this way, in the future, if they ever pull a copy of these minutes, they're going to hear you complaining about it, but they're also going to know that their names are part of the official record, which is why it's called a communication, which is why I write a letter saying every kid's name and what medal they got, and I tell the parents and I tell the kid, you are now going to be part of the official record of the Township of Belleville and memorialized in minutes and on the agenda going forward, and they're actually pretty happy about that.
And they should be, but again, the communication should come from council.
No, communication is an item of communication. I write a letter, I send it to the clerk, and say, this is a communication item.
Okay.
That's what communication
Yeah.
is.
You stated that they're going to get upset. I'm all for it, but it should come from rec. It's all around rec.
I'm
It's
all
around
for
town.
saving all the money through my civic association if the rec wants to do that. Okay. Anybody else? Next, ordinances. Next up, we have ordinance 44-25, ordinance for possible adoption. An ordinance amending chapter 13A-9 of the Code of the Township of Belleville, Uniform Safety Act. I need a motion open public commenting.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded open public commenting. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli? DePena?
Yes.
Rosiano?
Yes.
Portabasco?
Yes.
Muldrow?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
Mayor Melham?
Yes. We're now open for public commenting on this ordinance and this ordinance only. If you have a question about this particular ordinance, raise your hand. I'll call you, come up, state your name and address for the record, and hopefully you speak just on this ordinance. You need a microphone.
Mario Draws, 95 Bell Street. I'm just reading what you have here. I'm just trying to make some clarification. I'm like pro and yes and no on this ordinance. Is there anything that says weight class on here? Because I know I go to a lot of towns and it says no vehicles parking on streets by a certain
I
weight.
think you're looking at the wrong ordinance, Mario. We just read it.
This
It's
is for the
Uniform
fire.
Fire Safety Act.
Oh,
That's the next
That's
fire.
next
Oh,
fire department,
I mean, I read it.
go ahead.
which we are required by state law to do this.
Okay, hearing, sure.
Good evening, everyone. Michael Sheldon, 47 Floyd Street. I just have a quick question regarding the tagline that appears in the agenda for this ordinance. It says that this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon final passage and publication as provided by law. And this tagline also accompanies just, I think, every other ordinance that's being considered for adoption tonight. Isn't it the case under state law that you have to wait a minimum of 20 days after the council adopts an ordinance in order for it to become effective?
I believe it or not, I used to think that was true. It's all, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Attorney, Mr. Clerk, but that was, you have a 20-day period to challenge it. It doesn't mean you have to wait 20 days to enact it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Clerk or Attorney.
I'll share with you, if you want a copy of it. I have from Title 40, 69A-181, Adoption and Publication of Ordinances Effective Date, and under subsection B, it says, no ordinance other than the local budget ordinance shall take effect less than 20 days after its final passage by the council.
I agree with you, that was always my take on it. I was recently told that the 20-day period is just a
It's
challenge.
20 days from the day that it's published after adoption.
Right,
20
usually
days
you
after the
publish-
day that it's published, but as it goes into the paper, once it's adopted, I have to put it in the paper.
Right,
Once
so
it's
you
put-
do-
So the 20 days start from the day that it's in the papers,
Right.
not when the day that it was adopted.
Right, so, just hypothetically, you publish this tomorrow, you have to wait 20 days after you
20 days
publish
from
it
tomorrow.
before it becomes fully effective.
No, it's a challenge period. It's a period that establishes, it can be challenged.
It can be challenged after 20 days, but it doesn't become...
It says it's provided by
That
law.
covers
That means the second by law it's effective is when it's effective. Read the whole sentence.
I have.
It says, the ordinance shall become effective immediately upon final passage and publication as provided by law. It's going, the law provides that it's effective 20 days after publication, and that's when it becomes effective. So that we don't,
Not immediate.
it's not, it doesn't say it's immediately effective. It
Right.
has a, it qualifies it.
Right, I understand that, I agree with you, but what I'm just quibbling with is the way this is...
The wording. I can
it's
And by the way,
in the-
that's not in the ordinance. That
but
statement is not in the ordinance. That's on the agenda. It's not in the
With all
ordinance.
due respect, Mr. Martino, the way this is, the sentence that appears in the agenda, it says this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon final passage, so what
You're not reading the whole thing, and you're putting a comma in there that's not there.
Just read it again.
Where's the comma? You stopped as if there was a comma there. There's no comma.
Mr. Sheldon, as provided by, all right, well, I just think it could be worded better. 'cause
Thank
it
you for
does-
bringing it to our attention.
It just doesn't really,
And what we say in our agenda doesn't override state law.
but we all agree it's 20 days after adoption and publication. Right? It's 20 days after both events have occurred, after you adopt and after this is published. That's when the ordinance becomes effective.
The law is the law, Mr. Sheldon. Whatever the law says, that's when it's effective.
I don't have a JD, obviously, but I just want to make sure that the law is being properly followed. So-
Thank you for bringing it to our attention. Anybody else for this ordinance and this ordinance only? Anybody on the phones? Do we only have Councilman Muldrow? So I don't have to ask that anymore. You might as well keep it, because we got a whole bunch of this. Oh, yeah, that's true. We have two cordless mics, but neither have been operable. I need a motion to close public commenting and approve for final adoption.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and second, close, move for final adoption. Speak
Councilmember,
loud. Speak loud.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Rosiano?
Yes.
Portobasco?
Yes.
Muldrow?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
Mayor Melham?
Yes.
Ordinance 44-25 is adopted.
Ordinance 45-25, ordinance for possible adoption. Ordinance to amend the revised general ordinances of the Township of Belleville, Chapter 8-2.5, no parking trucks during certain hours. I need a motion to open public commenting.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and second to open public commenting. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Rosiano?
Yes.
Portobasco?
Yes.
Muldrow?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
Mayor Melham?
Yes. We are now open for public comment on this ordinance and this ordinance only. If you have a question or comment about this particular ordinance, come on forward.
Now I
Harry?
got it right.
Now you got it right.
Oh, we already did that one.
All right, you take 10, you take 30 seconds. Just real quick, I'm just looking at this ordinance. I'm just trying to get some clarification. I'm sure everybody else. Does that include, because I see a lot of towns have a weight sign, no trucks?
No.
There's no weight signs on it? Okay. Now, how do you make a determination between a private and commercial? But I'm reading this, and it's difficult to say, because I'll give you one example, and then you can answer me. All right, I have a private pickup truck. Now, during the winter time, sometimes I use it to push the snow out of my driveway. What if I left it overnight? It's a private vehicle, but I got a snow plow on it. Do I get a ticket for leaving it on the street?
Yes.
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 Huh. Right, but that's what I'm saying, but it's a
The
private
plow, the plow makes it.
vehicle. The
that.
plow makes it that?
Yes, it gives the appearance that it can
Gives
be
it the
used for.
appearance.
No one's gonna say that it definitely is being used for commercial purposes, but it gives the appearance that it's gonna be used for commercial purposes, such as a plow, tools in the back, seat, a ladder hanging from the
Yeah,
thing.
no, I'm just talking about a plain pickup
I'm just
truck.
telling you, no, plain pickup truck, it's used for your own personal use, that's fine, you can park it. But if you add something to it, Mario, that's gonna give the appearance of,
No, I know.
not that we have to prove that you're doing it, because we don't have to prove anything, but if it gives the appearance that it can be used for commercial purposes.
I know what you're saying.
You're gonna get a ticket.
Because you know I have the pickup truck about 30 years ago. I found the
You
driveway.
plowed my driveway, and I used to know.
That's the reason I know. But no, but I'm just saying, but how do you, is
Now, the only change
That's how
being
that
made to
works.
the ordinance right now is it's.
Yeah, let me explain, Mario,
Yeah.
because you're not the only one confused, including myself, as I called the chief.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get clarification.
So this was a confusion one, because the amendment is something that was taken out of this. So this ordinance, if you read the whole thing, it shall be unlawful for the owner or operator of a truck, tractor-trailer, trailer, semi-trailer, school buses, omnibus vehicles, taxis, limousines, motorhomes, whatever. The amendment we're amending this. The amendment is actually, we removed something. The one thing that we removed was just passenger vans, like a large passenger van you would transport your family with. So we took that out of this because people that have residential vans, Sprinter vans that are for a family were being ticketed. And that happened a lot throughout the town. So in order to stop that, the only change to this was removing that, pulling that out of this. That's it. So we have somebody here that actually has been getting ticket after ticket because he transports his family with
I was just
the
going to say,
van.
somebody's got a large family with 7, 8 kids.
Exactly.
Mr. Compost is behind you, and so all we did, the only amendment that we made was removing, because our traffic enforcement officers had to write that vehicle a ticket. Now, after this passes, hopefully, they don't have to. And if anybody else on the council has any other changes, and we're going to have changes going forward for a lot of different things, we just introduce next meeting and do another one. But really, it was so residents like Mr. Compost behind you doesn't keep getting tickets because he's transporting his family.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Then you're getting a ticket. The sign.
All right, Major Campos from my Preston.
No idea who you are.
So yes, I do have a Ford Transit. I do have a large family. This is my family. Okay? I have 5 kids. This is my vehicle. This is my Ford Transit. This is my family vehicle, not a commercial. Does not have any signs. Does not have any commercial plate on it or anything like that. It's usually only to transport.
Mr. Campos, just keep that picture up. So what happens a lot of times, so the council knows, is contractors use those vehicles, but they have no windows in them. And even though there's no signage on them, there's no commercial sign, we know that those vehicles are being used by contractors because there's no seats. If there were seats, there would be windows. Your vehicle has seats and has windows, so clearly you don't have contractor equipment in there, and you're using it to transport.
Absolutely. This is just to transport my family. And again, I looked it up, the definition of commuter van in the state of New Jersey, and it says that a commuter van is used to transport workers to and from work. Well, I don't do that. I don't transport any workers, so I shouldn't be classified as a commuter van. I'm a passenger van. I have a large family. Now, we'll talk about parking issues, right? So now, let's just say I'm forced to sell my Ford Transit, now I have to buy 2 vehicles to transport my family. Now I'm taking another spot. If it is a size issue,
And just so the council knows, commuter vehicle is the word that was taken out of the ordinance. So the amendment is to allow commuter vehicles that are not being used for commercial
Passenger
purposes.
van is taken out.
commuter van.
Commuter
Right,
van,
commuter van.
which is for commercial use. The problem is not with you, it's not that.
All right, let's let him,
So, and if it is a size issue, my van is 237 inches long. And just like the gentleman before spoke about, real quick, pickup trucks, GMC Sierra, right? They're okay to park on the street.
they are.
250 inches long. All right? Long. Nissan Titan, 244 inches.
Huge.
Okay, huge. Bigger than my van. So, and I have more. I mean, here's an old GMC Sierra, also large. So if his size is an issue because I'm parking in the street. So this, I mean, again, I'm not trying to stop you guys from letting these vehicles be parked on the street. I just want to show you that these vehicles are actually larger than mine, and they're okay to be parked on the street.
I'll go one step further. We had a recent complaint that I got, that I talked to the chief about, a pickup truck just like that with a double axle. So 2 tires on either side, and it was deemed to be a residential vehicle, and as long as it didn't have any markings on it. So that can be allowed, but Our current ordinance says you can't transport your family in that van that you have.
Again, my family, my view, that's it. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else for public commenting on this ordinance and this ordinance only? I know you're missing your back-to-school night tonight, so
It's important to be.
hopefully we'll get you there in time.
It's okay, it's over, but that's okay.
Yes. Anybody else for public commenting? If not, anybody, there's nobody on the phones? No?
I know there's going to be conversation up here. I would like to give you my 2 cents before I vote.
So
Again,
let's close public comment.
okay, I'm sorry.
Let's get a motion to close, so we're not going to close move for adoption, we're going to do just close public comment.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, to close public comment.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Portobasco?
Yes.
Moldro?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham?
Yes. Quick discussion if we need it.
Yeah, so I actually been impacted, so this has nothing to do with any individual. It's to do with, I like the fact that the townwide study, I understand, I hear you, Mayor, that you have a different opinion of that, but where I live on 130 Liberty Avenue, there's someone that has the same commuter-sized van that does not have parking in front of his house. He parks in front of his house, he doesn't have a driveway. If you have a driveway, they should go in there, that's something where it is. But they actually he picks up people where parks in front of, on Liberty Avenue in front of us. 5, 6 vehicles during the day park in front of our house and take away our parking. It is used for business. It does exactly that, and it has windows, it has nothing. So I'm saying,
But that,
I'm just saying that there is a mixture of things that are going on here, and I think I'd rather table, look at it holistically, and see how we can address parking as a whole. Not just a vehicle, not just this, look at it holistically, because it's Belleville that's in trouble.
Councilman,
That's
I
all.
would take that to an even greater level.
We have the same
He made
issue
a lot
on-
of comments about the larger vehicles, and it isn't fair. He's absolutely right. It's
I
not
know.
fair that those larger vehicles
Those
can
should
park
be
on
on.
the street, but his can't.
yeah, but
My
here-
father said,
I didn't realize you were testifying. I thought this was a conversation. Are you
Pardon?
testifying,
I-
is your father here to testify, or are you testifying to everybody?
I'm giving you an example just to see that. I've watched, they do, they park similar vans to that. You wouldn't let them. So, bottom line is that, I watched the same thing happen, but they park the car in front of my father's house, and then they go into another car right across the street. I've also seen it double
That's
wide.
not legal though. So we had, Tommy, your exact situation, I don't know if
My
Councilman is aware of it, but I've gotten complaints about her street. Somebody, 6 people pull up, it's a cleaning service. 6 people pull up, they
Yes.
park there. Okay, that van is being used to transport people commercially. That can get a ticket. That's got nothing to do with this.
It's gotta be proven too.
This is passenger vans. We've eliminated the word passenger van. He read the ordinance that says a passenger van is not for commercial purposes. So a van like his, and you already had construction code sit on a certain street looking for that infraction.
Right,
Because
yes.
so Tommy, they could be written a ticket right now. It's got nothing to do with this.
You gotta sit on the
Nothing to
street,
do
Tom,
with
and approve that it is a business, and then hopefully win in court if they show up.
And even if it
But it has
wasn't,
nothing to do with this person.
So it's
Even
not a
if it
street
wasn't-
violation, it's now a code enforcement violation, which they don't have to come to court for.
But you already had construction code sit outside Charles Street, and if that was seen to be using that van for commercial reasons, they can get a ticket. So it has nothing to do with allowing him to park in front of his house.
They don't have to go to court for an ordinance violation either, it's the same thing. A code violation and an ordinance violation are the same thing. They
If
have the
they,
same effect. They can't, their license can't be suspended for not
for a
coming
parking
to court.
ticket.
Not an ordinance violation, no. Absolutely not.
So I think one of the things we need to look at is obviously that level of enforcement.
But my point, Tommy, is we have that in place. Right now,
But I do,
that person can get written a ticket, right now, under the existing word. Nothing to do with this change.
that's fine, I'm not saying, all I'm saying, when we talk about parking in general, just like we talk about redevelopment, and we talk about parking spaces, and we should say one for bedroom, no, we should go 1.5. I like to look at it holistically, right? Because now we're gonna be keeping changing. If we just look at it and say, hey, how are we gonna address this? I'm not saying no.
That
just
doesn't get addressed in this though.
Okay. It
listen,
wouldn't.
I think the double long pickup trucks are a problem too. I think those oversized things that he was mentioning are a problem. You lose every other space when those things are parked on the street. And odds are, they don't have any markings, but they're still used for commercial plates.
Steve, in the example that we're using, the one on
Charles.
Charles Street and by Tommy. They can be ticketed right now with.
Under
without-
either ordinance.
Without this ordinance.
With or without, they could, under the old ordinance, they can be ticketed.
It's only 9 to 6.
What's the
Passenger
zone?
van, this is passengers.
No, what he's talking about is only 9 to 6, that we could, 9
Which is
PM
the
to 6
overnight.
AM.
Overnight.
Yeah.
No,
They can
overnight
still
parking.
get ticketed.
No.
9 to 6, they can get ticketed.
Yes.
Right, yeah, they can't get
Well,
ticketed
this
during the
is
day
clarifying
on either
Right
ordinance.
Right.
But on either ordinance, they couldn't get ticketed during the day.
No,
Right.
no.
In the old version, they couldn't get ticketed during the
No,
day.
that's why I'm
And in the new
clarifying
version, they
before you
couldn't
say
get
it
ticketed.
right now. I said, no, you can't. It's not.
Right.
It's not.
I understand. But in the old ordinance, they couldn't get ticketed during the day. And the new ordinance, they can't get
No.
ticketed during the day. But from 9 to 6, under either ordinance, the van on Councilwoman DePena Street and the van on Councilman Graziano Street could get ticketed under either ordinance because they would be considered commercial vehicles.
But, yes, and I'm not.
Just
he-
allowing
he could-
those
he
people with
parks-
residential vans to be able to
He actually
transfer
parks
in a van.
in the driveway of his house, and then he comes out, and all the other cars that he picks up are on my street. So
He's not even taking
he's
up
okay
space,
in his driveway, you know, so that's,
If I may add, Councilman Cristina, I agree with you that we would like to look at this holistically. I don't believe that it's either or. I do think that we can vote on this ordinance, and we can also look at that holistically later on. I don't think that this is limiting us from looking at it holistically. I agree with you. As the mayor mentioned, there's an issue in my own street. And that has been going on for a very long time. The only reason why this is brought up more is because now our kids are teenagers and they're driving and now they have cars, right? So the town is changing as a whole, right? And I know it in my own home. But I don't think that it is fair for us to, the way that it's worded right now, I think it was hurting people, although it wasn't intentionally. We've adjusted that. I mean, this gentleman has come in and has testified twice. We are a community, we are parents, we understand, but it's unfortunately, I think the way it would look is we're penalizing him for having a bigger family. And that is also unfair. I don't think that, whether it is his religious beliefs, whether it is whatever it might be, I don't think it's our place to pass judgment on something like that. I want to be very careful in the way we vote, that with the purpose of looking at the parking situation holistically, we don't end up actually creating more situations, like something bigger for the town, where then we can be held liable in some way for some type of discrimination in any way. So I want to be very careful with that.
I want to know how that's discrimination. I
Well-
don't think it hurts families. I think families have, you told me you have a Tahoe, it's not a Tahoe, but a Tahoe can fit, how many
I have
people?
a Traverse.
A Traverse, 7 people can fit in that car. Most families have multiple vehicles, as we spoke about. I'm not going to ask the gentleman if he
Yeah.
has other vehicles, or if he has a driveway that he possibly can put the car
But
in.
if that's
I'm
the
not going to
vehicle
ask
he
him.
chooses, doesn't he have
I'm
the
not
right
gonna ask him that
to park it in front of the house that
I'm
he's
not
paying
gonna-
taxes for?
I'm not going to make it about one person, I'm making it about the entire town and everybody.
Well, I was just speaking to the testimony we just had. He brought pictures of his family. We don't know whether he has car seats take more space. Those are nuances that we have to consider in this place, that we can approach the situation of the parking, and we also can vote on this and be fair to a situation that's happening right now.
Plus, the way that we do the public, when this is for a second hearing, they can only speak on the order. The only amendment to this ordinance is taking out the word passenger van to allow it. For these other commuter vans. So all these other covers, I'm all for an ordinance to ban everything else eventually, but why are we gonna penalize one person? It makes no
It's
sense.
not penalizing one person, it's penalizing
They both mean-
15,000
So with that
people.
being said, though, then if it's commuter van, he does not have a commuter van. So by definition,
By
it is
definition.
not a commuter van. So even if we table this, as some people are insinuating, is he then free to continue to park there by not getting any tickets because it's not a commuter van?
I know how many tickets he's gotten, he's
So-
gotten plenty of them.
I also know that I was able to help clean up Floyd Street, because there was a ton of commuter vans all over it.
But
And I'm
commuter
willing
is
to-
about intention and purpose, by definition, correct or not?
Prove it.
Sit outside Charles Street like you said, construction code, sit outside
If we
Liberty.
can do that every day and every
And
street,
nothing to
that's
do with
But
this
I'm
young
saying
man.
in this specific
We're not
case of
talking about
this
the other, I'm
gentleman.
talking about a town-wide thing. You can't make.
Well,
That's
right
not
now,
this
we are
ordinance,
talking
though.
about
We
the
are.
gentleman that just came and testified. I thought that's what we were talking about.
There's no disrespect to the gentleman, I would never do that.
Next meeting, somebody put on for discussion, banning or enforcement, I shouldn't say banning, because right now they can get tickets.
I think
Right now, the
discussion
situation
is-
going on at Councilman Street, and Councilman Street can
And
get
that was
tickets right
evident,
now.
it has a commercial sticker on the car, so you know, but in this case, at least from what I've seen, I have not seen the van in person, but I have seen I saw the picture that he just brought. At this moment, I feel comfortable voting on this and also creating more opportunities for discussions on the parking
My only
situation.
final statement is that this will allow an additional vehicle type to access our streets. A larger vehicle type, one that will put impression on one street that I already very much know well about.
I agree with Brian.
If
I send
you
these to
guys do
the
that,
police
you
chief
will increase the amount
once
of
a week. I
vehicles that
send
are being
an
tried
anonymous
to park on
appeal.
the street. It has nothing to do with
Nothing to do
that.
with
It has
that.
nothing to do with his family. It has to do with the rest of the 40,000 people in this town and what they will do with that law.
He could go buy a Wagoneer, that's bigger than the truck he's driving.
My personal opinion is I think you need to put size limits in total.
Okay, so police department, we're gonna buy you guys tape measures, so you guys can drive down the street and tape measure cars now. This is
So
we're
what
gonna
is
do.
what is the suggestion that you have right now? I just would like to ask the manager, what is the, like, our purpose is to solve problems in this town, right? That's what leaders do. So how do we solve this problem? What is your suggestion?
To solve this particular problem.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, I think you're gonna need to take a closer look at it and see what size vehicles work. You could tag a vehicle by a type and know what size it is. They don't measure.
Go by the
You can tell by the make and model. I know how long the
All right, so when you
compact
figure all that out, let us know, and we'll entertain that in a work session item, and then we'll vote on it. But for now, if anyone has anything else to say,
I only think is if you do vote on it, you will add more vehicles to the street now.
I'll entertain a motion motion?
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion made and second to adopt. We have a motion made, we have a second, clerk call the roll.
Who made the second?
Diana.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
No.
DePena?
Yes.
Graziano?
No.
Portabasco?
Yes.
Moldro?
No.
Velez?
No.
Mayor Melham?
Yes. Sorry, Mr. Campos, but maybe you can come back after you get a few more tickets, and I know I've offered to pay your first 2 tickets. Maybe somebody get a voted no, will offer to pay the rest of your tickets. Sorry about that. But, moving on. Sorry you missed your kids' back to school. Ordinance 46-25, ordinance for possible adoption. An ordinance to amend the revised general ordinance of the Township of Belleville, Chapter 8-8, designate loading zones. And you're more than willing to stay for public commenting if you want to speak more. Ready? We need a motion?
Sorry, I'm recovering.
Motion.
We have a motion.
Need a second.
Second.
We have a motion made and second. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Take no part.
Yes or no? We're gonna go back?
Yeah.
No, I have a conflict, so I will
Yes,
take no
take
part.
Okay, so you're abstaining.
Yeah.
Abstain.
DePena?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Portabasco?
Yes.
Moldro?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham?
Yes. We're now open for public commenting on this ordinance only. Hearing none, seeing none, there's nobody else on the phone. Oh, we have one. Yes, Mr. Frantantoni.
I just got one question here, because if you set this precedence, and this establishment has a side street right there, he's on the corner, where he can unload, what's gonna happen on Washington Avenue? All these businesses, when we go to one lane, how do they get deliveries? Are they gonna be all asking for a loading zone?
They may.
And how are we gonna do that with one lane? So but in this case, on Washington Avenue, you don't have the option of driving around the corner of your own property. So, but he has right there, he has the side street there. And during the day,
I
it's
think
not
the
many
chief is
people
implying,
in.
Chief, you're implying what?
The new plan of the state,
Right.
Brian will tell you, we do have designated loading zones in the works.
That answers that question.
Or
Mr. Frantantoni.
Washington Avenue,
Washington
yes,
Avenue, yes,
yes.
we do.
We've set locations, we're
Set
trying to,
locations.
yes.
So we're gonna have all these loading zones on Washington Avenue?
Yes, but that's got nothing to do with this ordinance, Mr. Frantantoni. So do you have a comment about this particular location?
Yeah, that's what I I say, I don't think we should give, because he has an alternate.
Noted, thank
He
you.
has the side street and the rear yard there.
So we don't want loading zones for him. Got it.
For him.
Okay, for him, no. Okay. Anybody else? If we had no loading zones, we would need loading zones. That would be the first question. Where's the loading zone?
Okay, motion to adopt?
Motion to close, move for final adoption.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to close, move for final adoption. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Abstain.
Thank you, sir.
Might I ask why? No.
Pena?
Hey, bartenders too. Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Guardabasco?
Yes.
Muldrow?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham?
Yes.
Ordinance 46-25 is adopted.
Ordinance 47-25, ordinance for possible adoption, an ordinance to amend the revised general ordinances of the Township of Belleville, Chapter 8-2.2, parking prohibited at all times on certain streets by deleting the west side of Stevens Street. I need a motion to open public comment.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, open public comment. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Pena?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Guardabasco?
Yes.
Muldrow?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham?
Yes. We are now open for public comment on this ordinance only. Sure.
Good evening again, Michael Sheldon, 47 Floyd Street. Notwithstanding kind of the double negative here, you're deleting a parking prohibition, which means that you're effectively now allowing, if I understand this correctly, you're allowing. This is the west side of Stevens Street, so that's the portion that abuts the new Quick Check, right? Is that if I have my
No.
check? No, it's the next street over, or?
Below it.
Below, on the,
Past the quick check.
Pass it.
The other side of Rutgers, Mike.
Understood. All right, I just have to get my orientation correct, because I thought, the way I read this, it sounded like you were allowing parking to be on the...
The other side of Rutgers.
Rutgers to Belleville.
Astor Shore.
Rutgers to Belleville, so it's on the other side.
Oh, all right, thank you for clarifying, all right, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else in
I
public
got my
comment?
little wrong, my geography, thank you.
Anybody else for public comment? Hearing none, seeing none, entertaining a motion to close, move for final adoption.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to close, move for final adoption. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Pena?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Guardabasco?
Yes.
Muldrow?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
Mayor Melham?
Yes.
Ordinance 47-25 is adopted.
Ordinance 48-25, ordinance for possible adoption, an ordinance to amend the revised general ordinance to the Township of Belleville, Chapter 8-6A, four-way stop intersection designated by adding Holmes Street and Ralph Street. Need a motion to open public comment.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, open public comment. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Pena?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Guardabasco?
Yes.
Muldrow?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham?
Yes. Open for public commenting on this ordinance only. Hearing none, seeing none, with nobody still on the phone, so I'll entertain a motion to close, move for final adoption.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to close, move for final adoption. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Pena?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Guardabasco?
Yes.
Muldrow?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham?
Yes.
Ordinance 48-25 is adopted.
Ordinance 49-25, an ordinance amending ordinance 38-25, fixing personnel positions, salaries, wages, compensation amounts, and rates. Need a motion of public comment.
Motion. Second.
Motion made and seconded for public comment. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Pena?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Guardabasco?
Yes.
Muldrow?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham?
Yes, we're now open for public commenting on this ordinance and this ordinance only.
No comments.
Okay, we're good? Hearing none, seeing none. Any motion to close, move for final adoption.
Motion.
Second.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Pena?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Guardabasco?
Yes.
Muldrow?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
Mayor Melham?
Yes.
Ordinance 49-25 is adopted.
Ordinance 50-25, ordinance for possible adoption, an ordinance amending the Township of Belleville, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 2, Section 2-13, Office of the Township Attorney.
Motion.
Motion, need a motion for public comment? Got one, got one. Motion made and second, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Rosiano?
Yes.
Portabasco?
Yes.
Moldro?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham?
Yes, we're now open for questions, comments on this particular ordinance, this ordinance only.
Rosen, 95 Bell Street. Just a few quick questions, and I'm going to sit down here. Now, what I'm looking at this here, it says delete, add. First of all, the positions, are they being deleted, or somebody's getting two titles? So my questions are, were they full-time or part-time? Is there a savings in this here?
Yes.
And do they get benefits?
So I'll answer all the
Yeah.
questions since I.
Simple questions.
Okay.
So there's not a title being deleted per se. They're combining, this is how it used to be before we were here, where there was a municipal, the prosecutor and the municipal attorney are going to be the same person. So we're combining the titles.
Right, okay.
Prior to this ordinance, we had a prosecutor and we had an assistant township attorney. That's now being consolidated. There is a substantial savings because I did it with the budget committee because I do the law department's budget, probably a savings of about $40,000 by doing it this way. Now the way we do it is a few weeks ago we appointed an attorney to do the tax appeals. That attorney has a limited amount and reduced. Our assistant township attorney wasn't doing as much as the previous assistant township attorney was. I was absorbing most of it. It was just easier that way. So now we eliminated the prosecutor alone position, combined them, and I project it should save about $30,000 to $40,000.
So basically, how many days a week would they be working doing
He
that?
doesn't get benefits, and he's part-time because he prosecutes basically 1.5 days a week and does assistant township attorney duties that I give him, not nearly as much, which is why basically it's an additional just so you know, it's an additional, based on the prior ordinance, an additional $25,000 to the prosecutor. Believe we were paying the prior township attorney, prior assistant township attorney, $60,000 to $70,000.
$40,000 savings.
So it's a consolidation with a cost savings.
Yes. Anybody else in public comment next? Hearing none, seeing none, entertain a motion to close, move for final adoption.
Motion.
Motion second and second. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Rosiano?
Yes.
Portabasco?
Yes.
Moldro?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
Mayor Melham?
Yes.
Ordinance 50-25 is adopted.
Ordinance 51-25, ordinance for possible adoption, ordinance to amend the revised general ordinances of the Township of Belleville, New Jersey, Chapter 8-16, entitled Handicap Parking Spaces. I need a motion to open public comment.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and second, open public comment. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Rosiano?
Yes.
Portabasco?
Yes.
Moldro?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
Mayor Melham?
Yes. Open public commenting on this ordinance only. Hearing none, seeing none. Nobody on the phone. Entertain a motion to close, move for final adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Rosiano?
Yes.
Portabasco?
Yes.
Moldro?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham?
Yes.
Ordinance 51-25 is adopted.
Ordinance 52-25, ordinance for possible adoption, ordinance amending Chapter 4, Subchapter 20-29, Food Truck Health and Fire Safety. Need a motion to open public comment.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and second, open public comment. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Rosiano?
Yes.
Portabasco?
Yes.
Moldro?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham?
Yes, we are now open public comment on this ordinance only. Hearing none, seeing none. Well, yeah, then we're going to, you want to just close public commenting and not
Well, you
vote?
tell me how to do it. Yeah, I want a couple questions.
All right, just do it now, we just vote
Okay.
all the time.
So with this, I'm going to give us one of these. We waited for this for 6 years. It was the first one of the properties we bought. That being said, when it started, it was going to be a pocket park. It was going to be a sitting park. Now, in the last reading last month, food trucks. Do we have any? I don't I printed the packet out, so I do apologize. I don't see dates, times, how many, stuff like that. I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the avenue and the businesses we currently have. We have brick and mortar businesses that have been there for a long time, and I don't want to have any negative effect on them for food trucks coming in and taking business from them. So just putting it out there is a concern. Again, we're Washington Avenue. We all sat here and we said Washington Avenue is the way to go. We're going to build it. We're going to build on it. We're going to have retail. We're going to have restaurants. So I'm just, does anybody know? Does anybody know?
It's, I believe, at the discretion of the manager, because this is supposed to be just a,
Yes, you
have something in place so that in the fall, we can maybe get something in there for the first month or two, but it's all at the discretion of the manager.
So Steve, we put limitations on how often the food trucks are allowed to operate in there and how often they have to cycle through. I forget what those were. If there's anybody...
There's two permits a month, limited to 9 to dusk to be there, but can only sell food from 11 to dusk on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Can businesses put tables there? Is that allowed?
Can who put-
Like a brick and mortar business? Can, instead of saying you have one food truck and Algeria's Pizza, come with a table and sell pizzas?
You mean like?
How come it's the same as,
You
you know,
mean
just,
put a table and sell?
well,
I don't know
just
that-
like,
It's kind of defeats the purpose of a food truck park.
oh, just because it's like, you don't want to hurt brick and mortar businesses, which I get it, like our tables allowed that or not?
Well, I don't know that you...
But isn't that like what free market is about? It's about businesses and competition, and I think these businesses, people like different things.
Yeah.
So depending on what they're selling, I don't think that is something for us to monitor.
No, I know, I'm for it, no, I'm for the ordinance, there's a food truck,
Yeah,
okay?
I think that the councilman points, I think it's good, it's actually an entry, because sometimes there's barriers to entry for businesses. So allowing them to test their markets and see if people like the business.
It might not be the same
The
food truck
fear-
forever, it could change monthly.
I think the overall fear is, yeah, if they start to undercut the prices of the surrounding businesses and the surrounding businesses start to get mad with us, I only think that could truly happen is if they are allowed to get on the site too often.
Put it this way, I don't think the manager would approve a Cuban coffee truck there because the Cuban coffee shop's right next door.
My concern, I didn't get the date. Like, I printed everything off for some reason. I didn't get the meat of it, so I don't know the hours, and thank you, Steve. So I didn't know if we had to put anything around the ordinance to tighten it up, or I'm just asking a question. I'm for it, I just wanted to know.
I'm good
No,
just
I
letting
think
him
we're
decide.
good.
I'm good just
We're not gonna get, we might get if we're very lucky, and I doubt it, we're not even gonna get a month this year. So if we have it
Yeah.
changed for next spring, we have plenty of time to change it for next spring. But
So
we
it's-
might get 1 month right now.
It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 9 to dusk, which at this time of year, it starts to get 6:30. Dusk is a lot earlier. They can only sell, they can't start selling food till 11, so you can't really like have a breakfast truck or something like that. And we put the choice of the choice of who's there in Brian's hands, because obviously you're gonna have people leave because maybe they don't get the business they expected, and you're gonna get different applicants, and you can't come back and forth here every time. you
And
want to
it's
put
2 a
it.
month and they have to cycle.
Two
everything
a month.
But the construction's not gonna be done, if we're lucky, until November. So maybe if we get a couple mild weeks in November, we could give it a shot. Otherwise, it's next spring.
Okay, yeah,
Good.
just a question.
And the reason we had to do it, because our food truck ordinance didn't allow it. We had drafted one that was in place for the pistol range that never went into play.
I remember.
Because I don't even remember why.
When that got
Tell you what?
No, I don't.
That got knocked down.
So I had to change that and do this for this place.
That's fine.
Okay, we were still open, so we're gonna do a motion to close and move to final.
One more thing, Mayor, if I may. I just wanted to say I actually agree with Councilman Cosarelli. I think involving the current businesses, the brick and mortar, I think that's to the point of Councilman Graziano. I think that you're trying to point, correct me if I'm wrong. I do think some involvement with the current businesses, maybe allotting some space, maybe rotational.
It's a food truck, it's not a flea market, it's a food truck park.
I know, it's only Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
And Sunday.
The other problem is you have health department issues too.
Right.
You can have somebody bring in.
We have a food truck festival coming in 2 weeks. Do we have Algeri's, I love Algeri's, do we have Algeri's Pizzeria there? I mean, it's a food truck festival in 2 weeks.
I mean, at the end of the day too, it is still a park with seating and stuff like that, like, they can bring other coffee.
You can go to Sweets and you can get your coffee and you can sit there and be on the internet. Do we have an internet there?
Or you can go get a sandwich.
I thought you were here, you think I'm here?
Maybe we should.
I wasn't asked.
So,
Good
Hotspot.
Good thought, I wasn't asked.
You can get those portable ones.
So, hotspot. Yeah, the only fear is undercutting, because again, if they're barriers, say they come in and they only pay us $200 a month, they're able to charge a lesser fee, and in theory, you could.
It's a free market.
you could-
That creates, I own a business. I know what that feels like, so that's okay. I think that's what makes America what it is, you know? And I think those are the opportunities that we have. Now, if they have that opportunity for business, I think maybe we can talk in the future about, like, North Arlington does a taste of North Arlington. That's something we can discuss, but I don't think that's what this ordinance specifically is about, and respectfully, we have a lot more to go through. I would really appreciate it if we could just not go on tangents and focus on what we have to discuss specifically about it, because we do have a lot.
I agree.
Make
Thank
a
you.
motion to approve.
Motion, you did, second.
Second, I have a motion made and second to approve. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Rosiano?
Yes.
Portabasco?
Yes.
Moldro?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham?
Yes.
Ordinance 5225 is adopted.
Ordinance 52-25, an ordinance for possible adoption. An ordinance authorizing the execution of financial agreement with 740 Washington Avenue LLC.
It's ordinance 53.
And what did I say?
52.
Sorry, ordinance 52.
325.
Everything I just said?
53.
53.
Yes.
52 was just adopted.
Got it. Ordinance 53. An ordinance authorizing the execution of financial agreement with 740 Washington Avenue LLC pursuant to NJSA 40A:21 concerning real property located at 470 Washington Avenue. Need a motion to open public comment.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, open public comment. Clerk call the roll.
I just want to go back. It's in my ears, whatever. It's 740 Washington Avenue.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm sorry. Who made the motion?
I did. From here on,
Don't
I'm
get
making
me
all of them.
And I seconded it.
Second.
Both being seconded at the same
Trying
time.
to move this along.
Don't get old.
Going quick, we're going quick here.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Rosiano?
Yes.
Portabasco?
Yes.
Moldro?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham?
Yes. Mr. Schultz.
Good evening again, Michael Sheldon, 47 Floyd Street. Just so that we're all on the same page here, 740 Washington Avenue is the 115-unit apartment building just north of ShopRite, which is otherwise now called the Kelsey, one of Mr. Pasillo's second project. I just want to confirm that that's the property we're talking about. All right. And the financial agreement here, this is the 5-year rehabilitation program, where in the first year it's 0%, 20% second year, 40%, et cetera, until you get to 100% in year 6.
Yep.
Right, so it's not a 25 or 30-year pilot. This is he's just taking advantage of the rehabilitation.
We make less money in this one.
Right.
On the
Okay.
increase too.
Right, okay. All right, thank you. I just wanted to make sure
Thank
that
you.
we all knew what was going on there.
Need a motion to close, anybody else? Need a motion to close, move for final adoption.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and second to close, move for final adoption. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Rosiano?
Yes.
Portabasco?
Yes.
Moldro?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
Mayor Melham?
Yes.
Ordinance 53-25 is adopted.
Ordinance 54-25, ordinance for possible adoption. An ordinance approving the agreement between the Township of Belleville and 260 Washington Avenue, Urban Renewal LLC, under NJSA 40A:20-1. Need a motion to open public comment.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and second, open public comment. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Rosiano?
Yes.
Portabasco?
Yes.
Moldro?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham?
Yes. We are now open public commenting on this ordinance and this ordinance only.
I'll take over.
This is Washington, the gavel.
Good point.
Good evening again, everyone. Michael Sheldon, still at 47 Floyd Street. Just wanted some clarification in the title for this ordinance. It says ordinance approving the agreement. Could you explain what this doesn't say financial agreement, it just says the agreement. Could you please explain for the record the nature of this agreement?
Dean, you know what, let me just have you come on up here, Dean. We have Dean Donatelli, our redevelopment council here,
Very good.
who has sat through 2 hours of this meeting so far. That's billable, right? When you sit there? You should do this stuff early.
Please get something.
Here's what goes first.
We should do these first.
So, good evening, everyone. My name is Dean Donatelli. I'm the redevelopment counsel for the township.
So quickly, just a quick answer.
The answer is it is a financial agreement for a long-term for the old Belleville Hall, the Elks property next to it, and the property behind it on Valley.
Right. 143 Valley, I think, is the other property.
Right.
So it's and it's a 25 or 30 years.
30 years.
30 years, right. This is between the town and 260 Washington Avenue urban renewal. Is that different than Belleville Ventures, which has been the...
Yes.
This is a different entity.
So it's not another project, it's a different entity, you're correct.
Right. Different entity, but independent of Belleville Ventures.
Independent of Belleville Ventures, correct.
Right. And later this evening in the consent agenda, this property is apparently being transferred later tonight to a new LLC, Archangel Michael Holdings Urban Renewal. So can you just explain what you're giving this to a new LLC, but then later in a few minutes it's going to go to yet a new LLC?
I can explain it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so it kind of leads off of, there are two resolutions.
Right.
Mr. Sheldon's correct. So this property we just described is a 108-unit project. It's a $40 million project. It's the current, say the current property owner is seeking a long-term tax exemption, which is the subject of this ordinance for adoption. What is then being proposed is that property will be sold to the new entity, which is going to has demonstrated its financial capability to the CFO and the manager. They've met with the new owner. I just want one clarification. Current redeveloper under the redevelopment agreement is in compliance with their redevelopment agreement. So this is actually even a better thing for the town. It's not that there's a problem. Another developer has come along. They want to buy the property from the current redeveloper. They've shown their financial capability, and so the redevelopment agreement will be transferred to that new purchaser. This financial agreement that's being approved or may be approved through this ordinance will then be transferred to that purchaser by way of an assumption agreement. So the new buyer will take all the responsibilities of the current redeveloper under the redevelopment agreement and all the obligations under the financial agreement if it's approved tonight.
Thank you for clarifying that. So you're referring to the new owner, who this meeting is over tonight, is the Archangel Michael Holdings. All right. Just want everyone to know that as of 5:30 today, that LLC did not have any filings with the state. They have the LLC, but all the business registration documents that I would expect to be in place.
Well, Archangel Michael is a registered urban renewal entity with the Department of Community Affairs.
All right,
We have the paperwork as part of their application.
All right, I'm glad you have that in place because...
Yeah, they're required to in order to become a party to the financial agreement.
I was just a little concerned.
So we're not tonight, Mr., but talking about Archangel later during public commenting, let's stay on this ordinance right now.
All right, well, I just wanted, thank you for the clarification. This is a financial agreement, this is a pilot, 30-year pilot for eventually the new owner, which will come later tonight, Archangel Michael Holdings. All right,
Thank you. Anybody else in public commenting on this ordinance only? Hearing none, seeing none, knowing nobody's on the phone, I'll entertain a motion to close and move for final adoption.
Second.
Motion made and second to close and move for final adoption. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli? Ms. Peña?
Yes.
Braziano?
Yes.
Guadalbasco?
Yes.
Moldro?
No.
Velez?
No.
And Mayor Melham?
Yes.
Ordinance 54-25 is adopted.
Ordinance 55-25, an ordinance to amend the revised general ordinance of the Township of Belleville, Chapter 8-2.2, parking prohibited at all times on certain streets. Just need a motion to introduce.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded for introduction. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Braziano?
Yes.
Guardabosco?
Yes.
Moldro?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham.
Yes.
Ordinance 5525 is introduced.
Ordinance 5625, an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance to amend the revised general ordinance of the Township of Belleville, parking meters, Chapter 9-1.1, limit time on all township municipal lots. Need a motion to introduce.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion made and second introduced. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Braziano?
Yes.
Guardabosco? Moldro?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham.
Yes.
Ordinance 5625 is introduced.
Ordinance 57-25, ordinance for introduction, an ordinance to amend the revised general ordinance of the Township of Belleville, Chapter 8-2C.12, residential parking permit areas. Need a motion to introduce.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and second introduced. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Braziano?
Yes.
Guardabosco?
Yes.
Moldro?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
Mayor Melham.
Yes.
Ordinance 57-25 is introduced.
Ordinance 58-25, ordinance for introduction, an ordinance of the Township of Belleville, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 16, Health, Subchapter 8, Sanitary Code, the Township of Belleville. Need a motion to introduce.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and second introduced. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Braziano?
Yes.
Guardabosco?
Yes.
Moldro?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham.
Yes.
Ordinance 58-25 is introduced.
Ordinance 59-25, ordinance for introduction, an ordinance of the Township of Belleville authorizing and approving the termination of the redevelopment agreement and the financial agreement between the Township of Belleville and 91 Terry Street Urban Renewal LLC. Need a motion to introduce.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and second to introduce. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Braziano?
Yes.
Guardabosco?
Yes.
Moldro?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham.
Yes.
Ordinance 59-25 is introduced.
Ordinance 60-25, ordinance for introduction, an ordinance to amend the revised general ordinance of the Township of Belleville, Chapter 8-16, entitled Handicap Parking Spaces. Need a motion to introduce.
Motion. Second.
Motion made and second introduced. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Braziano?
Yes.
Guardabosco?
Yes.
Moldro?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham.
Yes.
Ordinance 60-25 is introduced.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the public commenting. I need a motion to introduce public commenting.
Motion. Second.
Second.
Motion made and second to introduce public commenting. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli? DePena?
Yes.
Braziano?
Yes.
Guardabosco?
Yes.
Moldro?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham.
Yes. We're now at the part of the meeting that's public commenting, so I do need you to raise your hand once I call on you. Come on forward, state your name and address. You have 5 minutes. What we all hope is that you'll speak on public business, township business. Anybody for public commenting? Mr. Campos. Just need, I know you did it already, but you need to state your name and address.
Once again, Adrian Campos, 9 Preston Street.
First name?
Adrian Campos, 9 Preston Street.
Okay.
Just want to ask some clarification since the ordinance was not amended. The commuter van, I'd like to know why then my van is being classified as a commuter van. The gentleman before mentioned about his pickup truck being parked outside. And Chief said it was okay. But once it threw a plow on it, it became commercial. Now, what makes my van a commercial? Based on looks? Can't be. You shouldn't classify my van on looks, because it has to be, out of New Jersey statute says a commercial van is classified as a vehicle to transport workers to and from work. I don't do that. I don't do that. So why am I being classified as a commercial vehicle? I'm sorry, as a commuter van? I'm not.
May I speak?
If it's based on size, again, pickup trucks, I'm sure some of you here have a large pickup truck.
My answer to you is going to be, if you do get a summons, take it to court and have the court rule on what your vehicle can be. Mr. Campbell, I wish that had been done in the very beginning. Mayor was gracious enough to pay for your ticket. But I think this whole thing could have been resolved if it had gone to court and they made a ruling on your
I did, I was given to
I'm not sure
somebody.
he's got the date yet, that was part of the issue. Last
Okay,
we
well, I
spoke.
think this will have more light shed on this, and maybe, I think you'll probably be helped when the court hears your case, because you do present a very,
But I want to know,
But the court is gonna find differently than 4 council members who said no to the guy?
the court is the court, Mayor. The summons, and if they rule, just like, let's go back to, I hate to bring up the hot dog truck, but they made a ruling on something, and there was an opinion given by the court. But they can do the same thing with this vehicle. Steve, correct me if I'm wrong. If they make a thing that he's not guilty, then the police won't enforce it anymore. On his vehicle only.
but why am I being guilty? Why am I guilty? I mean, you mentioned about,
Mr. Campos,
yes,
they can charge you if they believe.
The officer on the scene
Right-
that night
right
thought
or
it was a
wrong,
thing. He may have been mistaken.
They can charge
I
you.
don't know.
Nobody up here is saying your van is a commuter van. Nobody's saying that. The chief isn't saying that. They charged you based on their perception of what was there.
In the ordinance, based on
The ordinance, the original ordinance, they charged you. You have a right to challenge that. And the person who has to make that determination isn't sitting up here today.
okay.
The person who makes that determination sits up here on Thursdays. That is the person who you come to.
Okay.
And the prosecutor makes a decision about whether or not he believes he has the evidence to prosecute it.
Okay.
And if he believes he doesn't have the evidence to prosecute it, he has the right to say, I don't have the evidence to prosecute this, I'm going to dismiss it.
But rather than this man take a day off of work, this council could have just voted yes on allowing his van.
Well, not allowing his van, allowing passenger vans.
Right.
Um,
It makes no sense.
The ordinance said commuter vans.
What?
The ordinance said commuter vans.
The ordinance says, it wasn't changed, remember?
Exactly,
It-
so
it says-
by definition, he can argue his point and maybe he will win. The concept is, if the commuter van definition is true,
It's
that's
right
what
here,
they're saying.
it's right here.
That
The
right
law is
there,
right here.
then the commuter van is a business van, so he can take it to court.
Chapter
and
39,
challenge it and
1.1.
say, I don't use it for those
And,
purposes.
and I said that from the beginning, because I was asked about it.
So instead of allowing,
And you have a right, the police officer is doing what he believes is in accordance with the ordinance. He doesn't know any better. He has an obligation, the prosecutor has an obligation with his witness to prove what they charged you with. I agree with Mark that if they prove that they have to prove it. If they can't prove it, either two ways it's going to happen. Either the prosecutor's going to say, look, I don't have the evidence for this, I'm going to dismiss it, and then you're done. Now, could they issue another ticket? Yes. Do I expect them to issue another ticket? No. Unless they have other proofs, okay? So the first thing that can happen is the prosecutor could dismiss it because he doesn't think they have the proof when you show up with that definition to prove what he has to prove. If he decides, no, you know what, I'm going to put the officer on the stand and let the officer testify, then the judge will decide, and you'll put the same arguments or the same effort that you put here today, you'll do there. And then if the judge dismisses it, I expect that the police officer who's standing there is going to go back and tell everybody, hey, this case got dismissed, I didn't have the proof, and I would expect they won't issue another ticket.
And maybe at that point, the council can amend. Maybe at that point, my colleagues will then amend the ordinance.
why would they amend to allow commercial use commuter vans, because that's the definition.
He doesn't have a commercial vehicle, so
It's
why is
not
he
a
being
commuter van
ticketed?
then, maybe it's just a van.
Why is he being ticketed? How about next meeting, we do an introduction that you can't have 2 cars, okay? How many cars do you have? How many, tell me you have 2 cars? Well, his 2 cars are taking up more space than his. So explain that to me. If that's our goal.
Can I
It's not
just,
for community use, I mean, it's not for commercial use.
Can I just ask you a
It's
question?
definition, Mike.
how did we get, what was the chain of events to get this gentleman here booking and the ordinance put on place? What were the chain of events?
Chain of events would be.
No, I'm gonna, if I may, what was the chain of events? You got a ticket?
So I've had the van since 2018, never had an issue. Officers came to my street all times of the night, and never had an issue. Maybe a month and a half ago, I received a summons
Right,
for truck parking.
gotcha,
And let's say, I'm not a commercial vehicle, I have commercial plates, I never heard of it.
gotcha.
Okay. And then I contacted the town, said, yes,
You got in contact with who?
you have a commuter van.
Yeah,
I called the
no,
police department, as a matter of fact, I called the police
Okay.
department. Listen, no, you.
He eventually wants you to say you contacted me, so just
No, actually,
get to that
I
part
called
where
Mr.
you.
No, I'm asking the chain of events because it came someplace to be.
He was here last meeting, Tommy.
But he got, wait, but he came here for a reason.
Because he got tickets, and he doesn't deserve to get tickets.
Correct. It could have all, this conversation, like the chief said, could have been a conversation directly and followed that, and we wouldn't be here right now debating this. It would have taken the course earlier, and wouldn't have been wasting his time, and the judge would have done what the chief is saying, is my point.
Or the council could just allow the poor guy to keep his van.
It's not about his van. It's about commuter vans, the definition. There's
I'm
a-
not saying you can't have a van.
Have a
You have a
conversation.
driveway, can you just put the
It's
van
not
in
the
the
point.
driveway?
Basically tell me I cannot have a large family.
No, no one said that.
No, we're saying there's
Yeah,
other
driveway.
solutions that
Use it.
we
What are the
have
solutions?
conversation. One is what the chief said, if it's not a commuter van, you can prove it's not, and that's it.
Okay?
Or if you do have a driveway, we actually do permit it in the
So why
driveway.
is this okay to be parked in the street?
I don't agree, I don't think it should be.
So why is it okay now?
I don't think it should be.
Why is it okay now, chief, to be parked in the street? I mean, I'm sure some of us here have a large pickup truck, and it's okay to park in the street. This is actually larger than my van.
And I agree with you, it shouldn't be
So
allowed.
why can't I park in the street?
A council member with 2 vehicles is larger than your van.
But again, the point is that if that is not used for commercial use.
But how do you know? How do you know? Maybe this guy is doing a side business on the side.
How do you know?
How do you know?
There's equipment in the trunk and other things.
We inspect
Yes.
it, there's no.
The same way you approve,
They just got a small tool in the back seat.
the same way you approve that you're not, then you're left alone.
It's also probably 6 or 8 inches wider than your van.
Exactly.
Truck.
Yeah,
So,
true.
Mr. Conti, we are at time, but I would
Yes.
hope that you're going to go to court if.
I'm
it
sorry,
doesn't-
I didn't get a date there for.
Okay,
I don't know anything
if
about it.
when you do go, if it gets adjudicated there in court, I'm assuming then you're gonna be good, but then maybe the council will then just make sure we verify it by putting it into the ordinance. Or anybody in the council at this point can change their vote. Councilman Velez, you interested in changing your vote? No, he's not, okay. So feel free to,
Very good, good to know.
you know where all the votes were.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else in public comment? Stan?
Gary, 307 Fairway Avenue. I'd like to thank you for cutting them trees, sending the crew up. That crew was very,
We got to thank you last meeting, I think.
excuse me?
We got to thank you last meeting.
So anyhow, I'm bringing that up is because I'd like to, a little information on the playground, Fairway Park, what they're doing, if there's new plans for that. And then you got a grant for the river. Is that for that particular river, for the flood mitigation?
So, again, we've discussed all of this at every single council meeting. You sat right there about
I
11.
didn't hear about
Last
the
meeting, we
flood.
gave a Fairway Park update, it was in the manager's report, it was in my report. I just posted today on social media about all the renovation. You must see the contractors going in and out because you live right there.
Yes. Well,
So clearly, there's work going on and the project is ongoing.
I just don't understand a few things, and let me just say this to you. You have trees that are so high, going over the two houses on the end there, why did you only trim them to the side? They're huge, they gotta be 50 feet tall, they need to be cut, right? And now you're putting a, 2 dog pens, in there.
Yes.
One for big dogs, one for small dogs, and you're taking up some of the space from the baseball field? I don't understand why.
No, we're not.
You're not.
The dog park is nowhere near the baseball field.
The dog
It's
pens?
decided.
They most certainly are.
Side.
It's on the side.
And
And
it's
it's
gone
going
no
from
infringement on the
two
ball.
small fields to one big one. So 2 fields that are useless to one
One field
useful.
that is used.
One use.
Oh, you're only making one field there? You think, oh, okay, I didn't know that. That's why I asked you what are the plans are, if the plans changed. Okay.
Okay.
So the walkway all the way around is still
That's
in?
phase 2, phase 2.
It's still
Walkway
in?
is phase 2. Walkway in the field is phase 2.
That's it, thank you.
Good. Sir?
Rich Finnegan, 279 Fairway. Sorry that fellow left with the van problem. But there's a gentleman that lives in the Bridgebrook condos that has a public service van with commercial plates on it, constantly parks on Fairway and Riverdale,
You emailed me about this as well.
and he doesn't get tickets. It's a commercial plate.
Every time, and I know the police go past my house every night, I got cameras, and they do not stop and give them a ticket. When I do call up, sometimes they leave, this is a warning, don't do it again. And he'll take that and throw it on the ground. So I would like to know if that gentleman is getting harassed like that, every night that a patrol car goes by, I want to see a real ticket on that truck. Because I go out for a walk every morning, and there's none there. Okay? Thank you.
All right. Anybody else for public comment? Tony. He's emailed before.
Answers to the council, please. Yeah, but before you vote on resolution B, having the town attorney extend the garbage contract, there's some big problems with the garbage contractor. That picture is what he does every day with garbage and recycling. They don't put them on the curb. That was a picture just before the street cleaners were going to come. They come to clean the street, they can't go around it. It's another problem because I have one of our neighbors who's pregnant. She got to stop the car in the middle of the street to get out and move the garbage cans. They don't put them on. Just this morning, my wife and I at ShopRite, we didn't even recognize an old friend of ours in DeWitt Avenue. Her face was all beat up. We said, "What happened to you?" She said, "The garbage people come to recycling, drop the pail, break the glass all over the street, and take off." She's out there, 79 years old, sweeping the street. She trips, falls on her face, broken tooth, her face is all broke up. They've got to put these pails back on the curb. They're not doing the job right. So before you renew it, and show them that. This is every day. And about 2 years ago, I brought a picture of my street, more than 2 garbage cans. The whole street, all the cans were there, and there's the street sweeper, and the picture I brought to you at that time showed the sweeper, the wet marks. You know, they used the water. And he was trying to clean the streets and all the pails in the street. So before you give him another year, let's get that issue resolved. The other issue is, I'm glad you recognize, Mr. Mayor, that people aren't parking on Washington Avenue. This started just before I sold my laundromat. This became a major problem when you put the plugs, the little plates over so it wouldn't accept quarters. My customers were complaining. You know, people want to come in, they want to go and buy a coffee or buy a lottery ticket or buy a newspaper. They don't want to use their phone. And some can't, like me, I have a flip phone. But so they like to put a quarter in. You put the good meters, like my wife had dealt for years, that took everything, credit cards, the apps, and the quarters. 2 months after you put the new meters in, you put plates over the quarters, which made no sense. So this is...
We've heard all this before, Mr. Franantoni. Is there anything new that you want to add to?
Yeah, let's get rid of this Park Mobile. It's crazy. And you see, you're the one that brought it up. I'm glad you brought it up. Everybody's complaining about it. We got to get back to the old way of doing this here. Regarding the other thing, I can't believe, what are we doing? At the Belleville Senior Citizen Kitchen, $114,750 for a kitchen? I can't believe it. My daughter lives in Roseland, and one of his neighbors put this unbelievable kitchen, right? $57,000. Are we getting gold faucets in this? Somebody got to look at that. The other thing with the illegal apartments, there's 2 more things. I've recommended this many times. I've complained about the illegal apartments. I don't like to give my neighbor's address with the illegal apartment, so you got to find out. What happened, one of them, I'm ready to go to bed at 12 o'clock, I shut my kitchen lights off, I see the whole street red. You have the whole fire department in this 2 doors away from me, illegal apartment. The very next day, you had the police department there. I know you won't hear this, so I'll wait for you.
Yeah, I do.
And so the whole police department was there. I then went at the town manager, Tucci, and happened, if you remember, the chief was just leaving. He said, "No," I said, "I want to see you." I said, the whole fire department was in that apartment. because there was a gas leak and all. The next day, 2 detectives and a cop car were there. If all these people didn't notice that there was illegal apartments, so what happened, the chief did, he did send out, the inspector out, they found out. The owner went to court, the court fined him $500, gave him 30 days to vacate the apartment. A month later, they're back in there. I suggest that when somebody gets caught like that, they have to be subject, maybe you have to do it by ordinance, every year they have to be inspected to come back there.
And I do need you to wrap up, Mr. Frantoni.
Yeah. And well, I want you to do something about this garbage people.
Okay.
And finally, you got on here this Passaic Avenue, all these houses on Passaic Avenue, and possible area in need of, redevelopment. I just would like to warn you 7 council people. This happened years ago with Union Glen. Something's going on with this, so I won't tell you now because of it. Somebody almost went to jail with Union Glen.
Okay. I'm glad you have to wrap up, so your time is up, sir.
It appears something similar is going on with this Passaic Avenue deal.
Let's go.
So there'll be 7 set of eyes better open up and look into what's going on over there.
Got it. We're open. Anybody else in public comment? Mary? Brian, do you want to touch on that kitchen?
The kitchen thing, we do have to pay prevailing wage, which ups our costs, and then we do get, triples it, and we do get multiple quotes.
So we quoted anyway, even though it's not a co-op, those are the prices. That was the cheapest price out of 3 co-op contract.
On pure town employees can replace cabinets.
I'm with you on that one, actually. $100,000 is for a kitchen. They got Viking appliances? I mean, what are they going to do in there?
Just want to make a comment what you said about the parking situation at the beginning of the meeting. At that time, 50, 60 years ago, you were right. Nobody, 1 car per family, but this and that. The only thing I want to add on there is you've touched on a lot of issues about the parking studies from another town. But one you forgot, Kearney did it, and Kearney included in their parking study more cars than parking spots. That's how intense they did it. So that was one of the things.
I didn't forget. I spoke to the mayor of Kearney, who told me I spent $50,000 to learn how to park.
No, but I'm just saying,
I
you didn't mention.
have copies of both studies they did, and I have copies of all the recommendations.
No, but you didn't say anything about more, their study was more cars than parking spaces. That's just what I want to add in to your study, which you left out. All right,
That's equals a parking problem.
resolution X and Y, changing ownership. You know what I noticed lately? It seems like everybody's coming in here, getting a 30-year pilot, and they're selling it. I'll give you just one example out of a few of them that I have, not to tie you up. 46 Franklin Street. They came in front of the board, they got approved to build 24, it's right across from the church. Yeah. They got approved for 24 units, right? Plus they had to sell, they had to pay you for so many spots on the street. But what I find interesting, they got it on the market now. It's like they came in here for approval, now they got it on the market for $1.4 million. It seems like everybody's coming in for approvals and they're selling it. It's just, that's only one of the ones that I looked at. I'm not going to mention all of it right now. And I just noticed here, 740 Washington Avenue, we just got a 5-year pilot, but 260 Washington Avenue gets a 30-year pilot. We're not consistent with the pilots. I mean, one gets it and one doesn't. But I'm not going to, debate you on that one, but it sounds a little crazy. 46 Franklin. The other thing is, you made a few comments about you keep getting $7,000 a year. That's fine, but the only thing you should tell the public when you're doing that is that your perks that you get with it. You get the Forest Hills Country Club $15,000 to $20,000 benefit of golfing. Then you get the medical benefits is $20,000 to $25,000. The use of the vehicle, gas, sometimes use of police. You're talking $50,000 to $60,000 there, and you keep crying on Facebook that you're only getting $7,000. You got a nice little perk there. And I don't even know what the weddings do. I don't know how that works, so I'm not even going to comment on anything like that. So what is your position now on overdevelopment, since the guy that you're campaigning for that must have run for governor, Jack, he keeps posting stop overdevelopment every time I look, stop overdevelopment, and you're supporting him. So what is your issue on overdevelopment since you're
I think
supporting him?
overdevelopment's terrible.
What's that?
I think overdevelopment's terrible, especially in our rural areas.
Yeah, but we're talking right here in Belleville.
I don't think we're overdeveloped.
Which Vinnie touched on Passaic Avenue. I looked at all those properties. That doesn't look like an area that needs development. That's prime area
For what?
for anything.
For a landscaper?
But not condos or apartments again. Come on. That's a residential area. Well,
It's a residential area,
Like you
yeah, we
do
have
condo.
a tow yard and we have a nursery there, you're okay with that, but you don't want a residential use in the residential area.
No, but
That's
don't-
literally what
don't
you just said.
need to go
You
overboard.
literally just said
Do you
that.
really need 100 units, I'm imagining?
Just
You
said
need
that.
100,
It's-
no,
this is
you need
bizarre.
100 units there. Do you want to live by that?
No, I don't think so, no.
And they want, then you put them, sending them to the planning board.
I'm not sending them anywhere.
Well, somebody is, so they'll vote on it,
Process.
they knock it down today.
It's the process.
They knock it down today.
I want a public hearing with the public input, don't we?
Yeah.
We're big into community input here, so we
Just
want the
no,
public hearing.
planning board, don't send it to the planning board.
It'll go for a public hearing there, won't it?
They're entitled to it, 5-year tax abatement. And I'm only at 4 minutes, 13 seconds, according to my clock. Just one last question. Because I know you're pro-police and I admire the things you're doing with your vest, but the question that has been bugging me. Do you believe that the insurrection happened? And do you, I'm going to ask you why, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to ask you why. Okay, it's the last question.
You have to wrap up. You have about 30 seconds left.
4:35,
You have about
here.
30 seconds
Mark,
left.
watch, what does that say, Mark?
Hurry up.
Mark is watching, I have my own stuff.
Wasted time,
Okay,
Mark.
my question is, since you are a big police supporter, and I
Yes,
agree with you on that one,
you do, good.
but do you believe that those guys should have been pardoned that assaulted police officers?
I don't believe an insurrection happened on January 6th, no.
Good, that's what I wanted to hear.
Thank you.
That's nice.
That's nice, isn't it? Anybody else? No more than the Black Lives Matter riots, by the way.
Good evening again, Michael Sheldon, 47 Floyd Street. First question, I wasn't able to attend the recent community meeting on parking, but I've gathered from social media chatter that the residents around the Soho project, the Soho lofts, are dealing with some real problems, and that the owner of the Soho thing is not allowing, or is charging residents to park on the
So
facility.
you might not have been at the meeting, but that topic was brought up by me at the last council meeting, where I put a work session item on about, since we force developers to have at least one spot per unit, we need to force developers to put those living in those units in those spots. And when they charge, they're not using the spots, using residential street. Nothing to do with the community meeting, but residents on Carpenter are complaining about people from Soho not paying and parking on their street.
All right. Well, this is one instance where you and I are, I think, are pretty much in agreement. I've gathered from social media that the owner is charging as much as $150 a month
Yes.
for people to park, residents to park
Yes.
on site, which is outrageous. But I want to point out again, as I did a couple months ago, I was at the June 2015 planning board meeting where this project had its original hearing and approval. And the video's on my YouTube channel. If you bother to listen to it, the developer and all his hired guns pretty much all but guaranteed. You know, any person who's not a Philadelphia lawyer listening to the discussion, that developer pretty much promised that parking was going to be part of the rent. So I would encourage you, if you don't know the link, if you want the link directly,
I'll send that link to Mr. Vanda, I'm sure he'd be very curious to hear.
Circulate it to all of you.
Well, I'm sure it's in the minutes.
All right. Moving on, with our zoning board, I know Mr. Bolano is here tonight, he's the new chair of the zoning board. Just want to make a request that the minutes of all the zoning board meetings be posted. That's done routinely for council meetings and for planning board, but none of the minutes for zoning board meetings are up on the township website, which I think you have to do under OPMA.
That would be a violation of, yes, it would be.
Right, so if that could be arranged, no rush there, but it should be done. Early tonight during the work session, there's some joking going on about we found 120-year-olds on the township's health plan. Was that just a joke or was it?
Joke.
Joke, okay, all right, just want to make sure.
There were dead people on it, though.
All right, well, all right, that's a large group, I showed you some statistical outliers. Next question,
There's also people that are north of 120 on our voting poll, on our voting books, by the way. By the way, Sammy Pop is still a registered voter, so.
next question, with some of these new large mixed-use residential, in particularly Essex and the Vermilion, across from the motorcycle mall, the retail space, unfortunately, looks like it's still completely empty. Do you have any updates, any information about potential?
They have at least one tenant there.
Which building?
The motorcycle mall has a salon going in,
Okay.
and they're looking for potential restaurants.
I hope it happens soon, because it's really bad out there. See, driving by at night, seeing the lights on and just the raw concrete blocks there, it just doesn't look that great. The last thing I want to ask, and I just want to reclaim a little bit of my time here, Resolution AA, which involves 45-53 Washington Avenue. This is another project which Mr. Casillo's Sound Development is involved with. We had a full planning board hearing for this site back in July of 2022. Again, the video's on my YouTube channel. And planning board approved a project, 7 stories, 81 residential units, but that was more than 3 years ago. So it's my understanding in municipal land use law that if once a site plan approval is given, if the developer doesn't move within 2 years, the approval is essentially abandoned. However, the developer can ask for as many as 3 one-year extensions, but from my research, Mr. Casillo never asked for any extensions. So first question here is, because of the
You are correct. I believe it does expire for 2 years if nothing commences. I believe there's remediation work going on there, which includes, he's working.
But it appears that you're about to ask the planning board to conduct an A&R study for the same site. So does this mean that, thankfully Mr. Donatelli's here, so he should be able to answer any questions. Does this mean that the previous approval has been scrapped, that Mr. Casillo's going to go back to square one, that you're going to do the A&R study, and then if that's approved, then he's going to have to go back before the planning board?
It may change.
Possibly with a new, it stands to reason that if he gets, if the A&R is designated, then he would be entitled to the long-term tax exemption, a pilot. And with that in place, then he could probably get more financing and put in an even larger.
I think you're connecting a heck of a lot of dots.
Well,
Let's just wait and see if he even goes before the planning board before we start adding up all his units.
So just to confirm, whatever he was approved for back in July of 2022, which was memorialized in August of 2022, that's now essentially moot, right?
No. No.
I just said he was working.
Well, why would it be moot? No.
Well, because of the 2-year period he has to start construction.
Did you not hear me say to you, and I agree with you, that if you don't do construction over a two-year period, but there is site remediation work going on, and therefore there is work being done? I said that like a minute ago.
Well, you said he's doing something on, but site remediation, I didn't even know that the site was contaminated. It's something I wasn't aware of.
I know it was an auto body shop, right?
I thought it was still in use by the.
Okay, your time is definitely up, but Brian, you have anything to add or no?
No, they're in remediation, I have documentation on it.
What are they remediating? Soil?
Contamination soil from the body shop.
Body shop, all right.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else from public comment? And just to confirm it, we have nobody in the phones? No? Entertain a motion to close, move final adoption. Entertain a motion to close public comment.
Motion. Motion and second.
Motion made and second. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli? Yes. DePena?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Portabasco?
Yes.
Muldrow?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham?
Yes. Anybody want a second? Just a reminder, we are still in the meeting, everybody. Anybody need extra time to look at the agenda?
Be separate?
I don't know why, but
13.
we switched things around. So I need a motion to, we're still got a resolution, that's not on the consent agenda, so resolution 13, number 13, CC. Need a motion? Motion made and second for resolution 13. Gentlemen, we're still in a meeting, thank you. I have a motion made and second for resolution CC, which is 235-2025. Need a motion and a second, you clerk call roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Rosiano?
Yes.
Portabasco?
Yes.
Muldrow?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham?
Abstain.
Wow, we got it. Perfect vote.
Now, resolutions. I definitely think we should look at that kitchen. We can buy cabinets, let DPWs. For 8 years I've been here, we had a working stove. We had a working stove that nobody used. And we have, I mean, just can't get cabinet, and that's,
I talked to Bobby about it, and tried to go different route. Some of it's also the commercial appliances, which I don't know.
Commercial appliances are much.
And that's-
I don't know, $100,000.
Well, it depends on what you're buying.
All right, let's look at it again.
Because they have 2 or 3 workers, they need a larger one.
I'm okay if you want.
That might be $15,000. Fine. Let's just look at it.
From Bobby, let's go up next time.
All right. Can we just pull that one off?
We could.
That's all I care about.
Let's look back into what can be done.
W.
But something doesn't need to be done, they're falling apart.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Okay. So W,
So let's just take W, I need a motion to table W.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to table W.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays?
Abstains?
Any abstentions?
And then could we pull, V?
What letter?
V.
B or B?
V. A V as in Victor.
Oh, B as
V as in Vinny Cosarelli, yeah.
That's it, just B?
Just V.
All right, so we're pulling that off. So let's just do the consent first.
Yep.
We're going to do a motion to accept the consent agenda. We already tabled W, and we're exempting V like Victor for a vote on its own after this. Got need a motion to move consent agenda? Motion.
Second.
Motion made and second, move consent agenda. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Rosiano?
Yes.
Portabasco?
Yes.
Muldrow?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham?
Yes.
All right, consent agenda is approved.
Need a motion, any discussion on V? Any discussion on V?
No, I just know that if we don't do it, like Brian and the previous manager said in the past, that once we go out to bid for this contract, we're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, Vin, we have two years, well, actually, it's 1.5 years left. And the rebid of this thing is going to be a nightmare. Costs are, that's the garbage.
Garbage.
Wait,
B.
We got to make sure.
The costs are going to be outrageous. And we have to take advantage of the current contract we're in to kind of postpone that. Mr. Frantantoni's complaints valid. We have provisions in the contract that we negotiated for things like that. You guys aren't the garbage police. Mr. Frantantoni, call DPW when you see that. It's a persistent thing. There are penalty provisions.
DPW gets a lot of complaints, and Bobby does.
And I assure you that the next contractor is going to do the same exact thing. Okay? They're all the same. They're no different. We don't get 10 people coming in here to bid garbage. Believe me,
One bidder last time.
We were involved, and no, we ended up having 3 bidders. One sued us. We had to rebid, and the same person got it anyway. Same entity got it anyway. So the longer, believe me, I was directly involved in it. The longer we can postpone having to do that again, the better. That's just.
And when we do get ready to do that, we said we were considering pulling out certain things and bidding it on different things instead of one package.
Nobody bid on the recycling. Nobody did.
I know.
Nobody bid on the recycling.
Yep.
And that business is still not on the up and up. That's all I can say.
Isn't there a penalty clause?
Right.
We just said.
I just said that, Mr. Frantantoni.
No, you were sitting right there.
I just said it.
All right, well, activate it.
No, you have, I'm not the garbage police and neither are these people.
When you call
If
DPW
you-
about complaint, Bobby, I'm on the emails. Bobby sends an email to the supervisor, documents it, and then we dock them. That's what happens.
But you have to complain.
This is
to them.
about the fourth time that I brought pictures to you.
We're the wrong
It's not
people.
us.
Pick up the phone and call
Gotta
DPW.
be a documented complaint to the DPW.
Call DPW.
I'm not a virtual assistant, Mr. Frantantoni. I can't take your complaint and tomorrow,
And
when I get my job,
by
complain
the
about
time
it.
you get here,
I've been coming in for 57 years. Prior council, when I brought it, they would take action. That's all I'm asking you. Show them the picture.
Okay.
Show them the picture, bring them in and
Can
say,
we
this
have to go on?
cannot
This
be
is
allowed.
8:46. I need a motion to put this.
Mr. Frantantoni, send me the pictures, I'll take care of it.
Second.
You got one right
We
there.
have a motion made, Mr.
I take
Frantantoni,
care
we're
of it.
still in a meeting. We have a motion on the table
Second. He motioned.
and a second by Councilman Velez
Second by Velez.
to just call the question for B.
Mr. Frantantoni disrupted me.
Again, you gotta call, roll call for B, roll call for.
I
motion
need
to
who made
approve
the
B.
first,
B, said it.
okay. CMP. Got it. Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
DePena?
Yes.
Rosiano?
Yes.
Guadalbasco?
Yes.
Moldro?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
And Mayor Melham?
Yes. Motion to, anything else? Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, no.
Oh, do we have
New
new
business,
business?
old business.
You already said it. You already had it.
Motion to adjourn. We got it? All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.